Good morning. Wait, can y'all hear me? Yes, you can. Hello, guys. Good morning. Good morning. It is Thursday. We got PCE data, GDP data going live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Microsoft has run up a huge amount. Meta has done the opposite thing and dropped substantially on CapEx fears and more. Meta did miss by pretty big margins. Microsoft killed it though. They did great. Oil went all the way up to almost $86 a barrel early this morning after more strikes happened overnight. And it is a big day today. Markets are still digesting yesterday's Warsh speech and, the pause. People are very critical of Warsh right now. They said he didn't say much, and they say it's fine that he didn't say much, but essentially that, Warsh kind of came in refusing to give out forward guidance, and that we're going to base things off of the data now, task forces, but now people are critical of Warsh in regards to him essentially saying he's still figuring it out at the Fed. NASDAQ is green on the day. We're over 27,500s, but we're still down net this week by a pretty big margin. If we take a look at memory this morning and memory plays, which are some of the big stories, we're still down to pretty big levels. We're rebounding a little bit this morning. MU is green. SanDisk is technically green. SK Hynix is technically green, but a lot of these stocks in memory and HBM production have hit some pretty big lows recently over the last 24 hours. And so the market is incredibly interesting today. Oil's still pretty freaking high and markets are still nervous. But yeah, if we take a look at SK Hynix here, you can kind of see their green. MU almost got down under 700 yesterday. It hit 705s yesterday in after hours, but this is mostly driven by just fears overall in tech. Meta down to 537s on a really bad earnings report, a really bad earnings call, and markets are still pretty freaking nervous. Again, Azure with Microsoft. You can see Microsoft right here, which is kind of seen as somewhat of a look at software as well. Microsoft did great. Azure cloud business topped $100 billion in revenue for the first time, better than expected Q4. AI monetization was proven at scale. Growth in Azure in the stock's up like 8% in pre-market. So a pretty big, move here for Microsoft. And I am in Microsoft right now. If you guys remember, I bought Microsoft at the 380 level. It's at 425. It's looking a lot better. We'll see what happens on that front here with Microsoft. But yeah, again, 100 billion cloud revenue milestone is historic. It does validate Azure. AI CapEx paid off for Microsoft. Different story for Google though. But Meta again is down about 9% in pre-market if you look at it after earnings yesterday. CapEx guidance was raised for Meta. That is one of the reasons people freaked out. Investors are worried about AI investment payback. The 26 CapEx was only slightly raised. It was 125 to 145 billion. It is now 130 to 145 billion. So they raised the bottom line number up 5 billion from 125 to 130 billion is the new CapEx. So again, Meta kind of took the Google treatment where it got punished for CapEx. Microsoft didn't. But yeah, it's a tale of two companies, Microsoft and Meta this morning. Again, yesterday the Fed did hold rates steady. I told you guys we would. I told you guys gold would probably bounce from overestimating hike odds ahead of the Fed meeting. Yet we still had some people think that we were going to raise rates today or yesterday, and we did not. The yield curve steepened significantly. What's interesting though is like if we look at yields here, like here's 2-year Treasury yields. They ripped yesterday, to be honest. So here's 2-year Treasury yields. They jumped up a little bit yesterday, but they're back down some. We can see they did drop significantly from the pause. Again, I think Microsoft I think markets just overpriced hike odds. I told people about this. We had 36% chance of a hike yesterday. I thought that was overestimating the hike odds a little bit, and so we made a bunch on gold yesterday. We're doing really good trading this week. We ended up, getting into gold and trading some gold ahead of the Fed meeting. And again, my logic of this trade was that, the market was overpricing the odds for a rate hike. And so when we would pause, which I thought was very likely, we would see yields jump. We would see yields fall, because, markets overpriced hike odds, and gold would rip initially. And that's precisely what we got. If we take a look at gold this morning here, gold jumped up pretty substantially from this FOMC. I gotta switch this gold contract. What's the new gold contract? MG. Is it V now? It might be V. Yeah, it looks like it's V now. But market's just overpriced hike odds here. You can see gold's pop from this Fed decision right here. So here's the gold move. You can see the Fed decision came out right here, and gold ripped. I should have held it longer, but again, I executed it right. My trade plan worked, and yeah, we ended up getting a nice bounce in gold. We did have the Bank of England do their rate decision. They kept rates unchanged at 3.75. We do have, again, the PCE and GDP reports. Inflation and GDP. GDP is expected to jump up 0.1% today when they drop at 8:30. GDP is expected to go up, I believe, to 2.3% versus the last one that showed up at 2.1%. But actually, no, I'm showing 2.1% for GDP. So maybe they changed those odds a little bit based off of the Fed decision to pause. But what's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great day today. Do me a favor and bump the like buttons up, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. But what's up, SpaceX, Bull, Ava, AJ, Fed, Jonathan, GJ, Steve, Old Hack, Chavo, Infection, Bromax, Edson, Ace, Brian, Sabars, Alexis, Matthew, 50, The Real, Orlando, Darkage, Sigma, Ace, Max, K. I can't even pronounce that one because it's in Russian. Cyber, Sorrel, what's up, dude? Knights, Slumdog, Rooftop, Bogdan, Scotty, doesn't know. Solar Winds, Ty the Fly, Ashun, Charity, Elsway, 007, Weather, Rav, Karate Man, hey, what's up, dude? Ryan, Trent, God Soldier, Young, Palantirs, Ox, J Investing, Mix, Cho, HBK, Glass Half Full, Lee, J, Ledger, and everybody else here today. I think I got everybody. Chick, Chavo, Pawn. Hello, guys. Good morning. Good morning. What do you guys think we get today? Ben Rays, Hayes the Family, Cospa, Mark. Man. Good morning, guys. Good morning. It's a beautiful day here on Thursday. PCE and GDP data does come out soon. The market sentiments are interesting right now. We've had a lot of volatility this week, and we have capitalized on it, to be honest. So if we look at like this month here in trading, we've done really well. If you look at this week alone, we're up like 1,600, almost $2,000 this week, just with trading here. So we're doing really good. My accuracy rate this week has been like 64, 65%. Real quick though, the NASDAQ is jumping up a little bit. We did have more strike news, but the NASDAQ up to 27,700. Let's see if we can break back over 28K. I think that's an interesting one. What's up, Sutter Kane? What's up, George? What's up, Tally? What's up, Nian? Good morning, guys. Good morning. But yeah, oil is still really interesting. It hit 86. Bond developments, though, man, they're interesting. We did have more escalation overnight. The U.S. struck a dozen Iranian targets, threatened to spiral into more escalation. The pulse pattern was broken again. Oil's still kind of flat, although it did hit almost $86 a barrel early this morning. It got up to 84. So it's still kind of fading back down a little bit. But when we look at things, NASDAQ futures up a little bit. S&P futures up a little bit. QCOM got punished last night as well in its earnings report. Here's QCOM. It dumped. But yeah, again, the Bank of England did pause rates today, as expected. The vote was split 6-3. And one of the big stories yesterday with the FOMC decision is that we had 3 dissenters. 3. Okay, that is not a small amount of dissenters, especially when it's like 3-7, right? So one vote, caused us to pause yesterday versus hike. All right, so 3 people voted for a hike. They dissented away from the group, but it was pretty split, honestly. So that means we had 4 pause votes and 3 hawk votes, essentially. 3 dissenters. So, yeah, we'll see what happens now, but markets are starting to digest the Fed meeting. If we look at the Fed watch tool for the next meeting here, it's still looking really likely that we're going to hike rates. but less likely than yesterday. Yesterday, prior to all this stuff, it was 75% chance that we would hike rates or have higher rates by yesterday or by next meeting in September. Now it's only 63% chance, and there's still a 37% chance that we'll pause rates in the next meeting also here. So it's still looking pretty probable that we're going to hike rates, but those odds have gone down some now. So those odds have gone down a little bit, and yeah, we'll see what we get, guys. 300 moving average, sorry, 200. Hit the like button, guys. Let's have a great morning, gang. Hey, thank you, Jay. Appreciate it, brother. Top 3 haters. I definitely buy indices gold and silver. Let's go Bloom Energy. Play the ball, not the ref, just like the Fed said. New regime in town. Volatility. Yeah, we're volatile today, man. Yeah, I mean, if the war continues, we're going to hike rates. It's looking like we're going to hike rates regardless. But today's inflation report does have some relevance here. Core PCE, which is the preferred one, excludes food and energy prices, but it is expected year over year at 3.3%. Last time was 3.4%, so it is expected to dump down a little bit. 0.2% expected on the month versus 0.3% last time. We also have jobless claims unemployment at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time as well going live. So jobless claims do drop at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time along with the rest of this data. So we got PCE, GDP, and jobless claims going live in about an hour here, guys, about an hour. And this goes into next week, and next week's a really busy week as well. We have the payroll, or we have non-farm payrolls on Friday. We got the ADP jobs report on Wednesday, and more next week. So next week is a busy week for data as well here. If the war continues, a hike is inevitable. Mike, mate, do you think indices are going to go up after the news? I have no idea. It depends. Yeah, I think maybe I got the Fed members wrong. Yeah, there were 3 dissenters. Specifically, it was... Well, I know it's Hammock, Kashkari, which I told you guys we might. And there was one other one. Who was the last one? Lori Logan. So there were 3 dissenters: Beth Hammock, Neil Kashkari, and Lori Logan. And so, yeah, you're right. It's 9-3 in favor of holding rates. But 3 dissenters is not a small amount. 3 dissenters is not small. Do we raise rates next meeting, guys? Let me know. Let's do a poll here. What's a good poll option for today? What do you guys want to buy today? What sectors are you guys interested in? Let's talk about it. Microsoft, man. My Microsoft trade doing really nice. I held it through the craziness, too, man. I did not sell at least the entire position. I can't remember if I took some. But Microsoft up to 427. Killed it. And again, Meta did the complete opposite. Not even... Look, Meta's big reason it dropped is not necessarily from CapEx. Meta raised CapEx slightly. I don't think they raised CapEx enough to cause this drop. Meta missed EPS by a huge number, though. So yesterday, Meta ended up posting what? They missed EPS, I remember, by a pretty big margin. And this morning, we have Valero, Bristol Myers, Ferrari, Blue Owl Capital, MasterCard, Cigna, and more coming out today. But what did Meta show? I can't remember. I know they missed EPS by a pretty big margin here. And I think that's really why we're down so much here. Yeah, Meta posted 618 EPS. They expected 719, 618 EPS, and then their revenue was basically flat. Their guidance was in line, so they didn't beat and raise, and then they raised CapEx a little bit, and that's basically why Meta has fallen off a cliff this morning and yesterday, really, all things considered. Coinbase is today. Good morning. Hey, what's up, Lewis? Yeah, we got Apple and Amazon after the bell today. I'll remain data dependent. I'm betting a cut on Cauchy before December. You think we cut rates before December? For that to happen, for us to cut rates before December, I think we're going to need like weak economic data. We're going to need like weak payrolls, weak jobs to show up. We're going to need oil to settle. And I don't know if we're going to get those things. I mean, I don't know, guys. Do you guys think we cut before December? I don't think so. Again, in order to get a cut this year, we need oil stability. We need the conflict to settle. We need, there's a lot of big things we need in order to justify a cut this year. We need conflict to settle, oil prices to fall, inflation to slow, labor market to show weakness, much more weakness than we've seen so far. Although the last NFP report did show up at what, 57,000? Gold, if you look at it here, guys. See, I still think this is the wrong contract for gold, but yeah, gold sitting right now at 4100s here. So look at gold. So 4100s for gold. It is elevated a little bit on the day. It did run up yesterday after the FOMC. If we put a 5-minute chart up here for gold, you can kind of see some of this. So gold is actually holding the FOMC gains that it made. But yeah, I don't think we're going to cut this year. We might, but I don't think so. No way we cut this year. The labor market must cascade for a rate cut. Right, exactly, Steve. Do you get tired of socializing? I mean, sometimes. Coinbase today. What's up, true. Lewis? SoFi. The bonds are getting destroyed. Yeah, SoFi had a negative reaction to earnings yesterday as well here, right? Yeah, SoFi. SoFi posted earnings yesterday morning. It dropped from 17s down to 14s. Back up to 15s now, but still down pretty big amount. Let's do a poll here, though, guys. Let's do a poll. Do we get a rate cut this year? Yes or no? I'll do that poll. I think y'all should be voting no. I'm just going to put it out there. Also, guys, I won my bet. I'm just going to put this out there. You know, like, listen. I won my bet. I was right. I bet people we wouldn't hike yesterday. I told you guys, honestly, I'm not going to... Look. You know, you guys know me. I don't brag. I don't even know what bragging is. I'm not a bragger, they say. Probably. But I made a bet with the stream yesterday that we would not hike yesterday. I made a bet with the stream that if we did hike rates, I would quit vaping. And then it was actually pretty funny, and I laughed pretty hard when they did this. But so the bet was I would quit vaping if we hiked. And then I asked, what would I get if we did not hike? If we did what I thought we would, which was pause, and the chat answered lung cancer. And that made me laugh pretty heavily yesterday, to be completely honest. That was a good one. But we ended up agreeing on y'all have to call me Supreme Johnny now. So that's my name. I don't know who John is. You know, it's Supreme Johnny now, and I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah. What's your outlook on PCE today? Yeah, the one nickname you never had in college was John the Braggart. Yeah, that's right. You know. Yeah. No, you're here, Britt. I'm sorry. Britt is here. Britt is live. Britt is here. Say hello, Britt. Can y'all hear Britt?
I don't want to say hello now.
Well, we don't need you to say hello, Britt. You know?
Well, no, I've said something a few times, and people in chat keep asking where I am, so I just figured they couldn't hear me.
Oh, no, you're here. You're live. You're a star, Britt. You're a star. Okay, never forget.
I knew I would be. I dreamed about it when I was a kid.
I know you would. You know, that's why I brought you here, is so you can fulfill your dream.
Yep, yeah. John has helped me fulfill my destiny, you guys.
Yeah, it's his destiny. Yeah, that's right.
Also, are you sure that other guy's name is Cyrillic?
Who?
That's not. It's the name of the Russian alphabet. Is it?
Okay.
Is it in Cyrillic?
Oh yeah. No. IRGC says a hostile drone was shot down in the skies over Bandar Imam Khomeini in southern Iran. But yeah, more escalation happened overnight. Markets, I think, are starting to care less. They're used to it at this point in time. Markets have gotten baked into escalation. But yeah, Microsoft pumping up, Meta dumping down, doing the opposite. People are saying that yesterday's post-FOMC sell-off was an overreaction to Warsh's press conference. Microsoft is providing some release. But what do you guys think we're going to do today? What are you guys interested in buying? Iran escalation overnight is widely being ignored. Oil is down on the day, technically, if you look at it. Here's oil. So here's CL futures. Technically down on the day here. Which is interesting because we did have more escalation overnight. The Dow, when the Fed held, pummeled down here. Look at the Dow. Dow did not like the Fed pausing rates. Did not like Warsh and what he's got to say. It's still at 52,000. It's still doing okay. If we take a look at the S&P, though, S&P's pretty green, kind of rebounding back up some. But, you know, one of the things I told you guys, like my thesis yesterday, was that the Fed would pause. Markets overpriced in hike odds. And so initially, especially in like gold, we would run up. And then maybe when Warsh started to speak, we would reverse back down some. I'm not saying that happened. Guys, listen, I would never say that happened, but that happened. All right, let's just be honest here. That happened. And I think it's predictable. And it kind of goes to show, if you can find discrepancies in markets, this is what I talked about yesterday. If you can find discrepancies in markets, you can make money. All right, gold trade was easy. You know, you set a stop loss in case we do hike, because if we hike, gold and markets and equities are dumping. But you put a stop loss in, and easy to make money in that regard. We'll see what happens here, though, today. But NASDAQ is a little bit green. We have less than an hour before PCE inflation goes live. I hope you see lower data than forecast. I'm buying. So lower inflation data today. Higher or lower inflation today. We did a poll. Do we get a rate cut this year? 33% say yes. 67% say no. Do we get a cut today? I don't think so. Or not a cut today. Do we get a cut this year? I don't think so. Again, a lot of things would need to happen in order for us to get a cut, and I don't know if they're going to happen. What do you think, Bray? You think we get a rate cut this year?
No, probably not. I mean, I guess it could happen, but it would take a pretty neat confluence of events, probably.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we would have to have everything go right to get a rate cut this year, and I just don't think it's going to happen, guys. I don't think we're going to cut. We did have Intercontinental Exchange come out with earnings. But yeah, the consensus for the core PCE, which is, again, the Fed's preferred inflation metric is PCE. Inflation, and Warsh even mentioned it yesterday that we're going to kind of stick to that standard of it being the main one. But it's expected to rise 0.2% month over month for core, which is, you know, the biggest one. Annual rate expected to drop to 3.3% year over year from 3.4%. Headline is expected to fall by 0.1%. Is it really that? Wait, let me see what headline is expected.
Oh, what's up, Sorrel? Sorry, dude. I just saw that.
How you doing, Sorrel?
And good morning, everybody. I didn't know if y'all could hear me earlier, but good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. The headline PC is expected to come in at negative 0.1%, and the annual rate expected to fall from 3.7 or to 3.7 from 4.1. This would mark the first easing in this inflation data since the start of the U.S. conflict, with June CPI and PPI reports out, which did cool as well. You know, econometricians model core PCE rising by 0.17 to 0.19%, basically in line with that 0.2% estimate. That would leave the annual rate at 3.3%. But again, we did have Warsh yesterday. They do think core PCE is likely to run somewhat hotter than core CPI. Still, software prices have a larger weight in the PCE basket, just so you understand it. So portfolio management fees may add upward pressure, cheaper apparel, softer rent, and the fading effect of the World Cup related hotel prices should provide some offset to inflation, but we'll see if it's enough to kind of outweigh the pressures there. Again, we did have the FOMC July statement. It was almost unchanged. Warsh did not say a lot during this meeting. Data dependence was reiterated. Markets still reacted curiously, and most people, some suggest Warsh was less hawkish, although we did have 3 dissents calling for a 25 basis point hike. Yields are down a little bit, obviously, from the Fed meeting, but they're up a little bit this morning. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We did have Ferrari come out at 5.45 billion, expected 5.26 billion. So they beat expectations for revenues. They see fiscal year adjusted EBITDA guidance of at least 2.97 billion versus expected 2.97. So maybe a little bit of upward guidance for Ferrari, but yeah, Iran also said it continues to talk with Oman about management of the Strait of Hormuz. Pakistan has made an agreement with Iran to secure safe passage for liquefied natural gas shipments, according to reports as well here today. So we have that going on. Nvidia is still at 193s right now, and some of this chip sell-off has still, I think it's still a scary market, to be honest. I think MU and memory plays being down. Look at MU here. Hit 705. It's back up to 760s, which is an optimistic look. But Nvidia here is at 193s. It hit 188s yesterday after the Fed meeting and tech earnings. 188s here for Nvidia last night. So, a little scary here. So, no?
Well, that's why you're trading the wrong gold. Did you get that? Did you get it figured out with what the new shorthand for gold is?
It's not that I'm trading it. When I trade gold, I trade it on Tradevate. Gold is MGV6 right here, right? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the right symbol for gold. The other one is the older contract from TOS. So
got to switch, I think.
you're about to fall off a cliff. Don't put that on me. Guys, did the NASDAQ hit the bottom or no?
Put that even on me, Ricky Bobby.
No, bro, don't put that on me, dude. The balls are being passed and retail is not paying attention, frozen with news and fear gets them frozen like deer in headlights. Clarity Act is not looking good. We haven't paused this long since 2008, so if we don't cut this year, it'll probably be the longest pause ever. No, I mean, I think we're going to raise rates this year, probably, Zach. Yeah, 100% no cut today. I mean, I could go get behind that prediction.
What are mortgage rates right now?
I think they're around 6 point.
Bless you. I don't know if that was a sneeze, but bless you. You good? You good?
I'm all right, guys. Don't worry. I'm okay. Some of these things are freaking harsh. Mortgage rates are what? I would say mortgage rates are 7% right now.
Okay, I was just curious because Kaltenberg was saying his parents' VA mortgage in 1965 was 6.5%. Like, I don't know. I don't know what like a good level for mortgage rates is. Honestly, never bought a house.
A good mortgage rate. I mean, preferred mortgage rate 2-3% right now.
Okay.
Nobody's getting that, and it's one of the dynamics in residential real estate right now is that we had low interest rate environment. We had a low interest rate environment for decades, you know, and so people got really used to that. Markets got really used to that in housing and real estate and bonds and everything else. Now we do not have 2 or 3% interest rates, you know. So, but what it means is that a lot of people are still in those low interest rate mortgages. But if they were to go get a new mortgage, it would be 7%. They'd be paying over double what they were paying prior to this. And this is one of the reasons for the stagnation in real estate markets is because, you know, why would anybody want to sell their property that they have a mortgage on at 2 or 3% and buy another one at a mortgage rate of more than double that at 6 or 7%?
Yeah, unless you just absolutely need a bigger house, you have a growing family or something, you don't fit in your old home anymore. Like, I doubt anybody's really going to sell.
Even with that, right? A lot of people are still sitting on their super low interest rate mortgages, and they're trying to figure stuff out in other ways, right?
Just jamming an extra kid in every room.
Right? Yeah. Like again, paying twice as much in mortgages is not ideal, obviously, and so people are sitting on those properties, and that's causing stagnation in the real estate market. The only people that it really doesn't affect are like the ultra wealthy. Because if you're super rich, you don't care. I mean, you're buying cash, or you'll get a mortgage, but like you don't care about the difference. It's not moving the needle at all for you, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just curious because I saw that and like 6.5%. Like I recognized that was, you know, kind of high, but at the same time, like you know, my grandparents bought their house in like 1963, so around the same time period, so and probably roughly the same interest rate. The difference being it was, you know, $18,000 for a brand new house then.
Right, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Inflation has gotten there. Yeah, or they're renting. A lot of people are renting now versus buying. And so there's just a lot of stagnation in real estate. And we've had these high interest rates. Like, look, if we look at the Fed funds rate as an example of this, if we look at like a graph for the Fed funds rate, you can kind of see all the different dynamics here and the story behind everything. I try to give this story because it's important for people to understand. Now, the Fed interest rate here, this is the federal funds rate. This is what the Fed is doing, basically. But it directly and indirectly affects things. It directly impacts home equity lines of credit and adjustable rates because these are the rates that are being adjusted, if that makes sense, for like home equity lines of credit. But you can kind of see a good picture. Like since 2010, you can see how low rates have been since 2010. You know, so we've had super low interest rate environment since 2010. That all changed, you know, when the Fed basically... you can see we were up here to almost 2.5%, and then 2020 happened. And when 2020 happened, you know, the economy took a hit, right? And so in order to stimulate that, they lowered interest rates to almost zero here. You can see we brought them down to almost freaking zero, and they were already pretty low prior to that. And then inflation started, right? So once this happened, inflation spiked up to like 9+% for CPI inflation. And so then the Fed did a bunch of rate hikes. They raised rates like 400 or 500 basis points, and then they paused them there for a year. Only, you know, a few years ago did we start to cut these rates back down in like 2024. And then this is where we are now, and we've been pausing for a minute. So That is essentially the story of rates over the last 20 years, is that super low interest rate environment after 2007 stimulate things. We started to raise them back up a little bit, but then 2020 happened and rates went back down, and then inflation started, not just because rates were so low. It's definitely one of the reasons, but inflation happened for, I say it once, I'll say it again, supply chain, stimulus checks, bank loans, or government loans, like all that stuff made inflation spiral. And so then the Fed, dual mandate, they have to combat inflation, so they raised, and then we're down a little bit from the peak, but people are still dealing with much higher interest rates than they've dealt with for the last 20 years. And so it kind of creates that dynamic and that stagnation in the real estate market. Bonds were paying 9% during that period. Yeah. Unchecked federal debt. Yeah, money printing, quantitative easing, all that stuff caused inflation to spiral for sure. Quantitative easing. It wasn't just that though. It was like a Goldilocks situation in a bad way with inflation. Like, we had low interest rates, we had quantitative easing, money printing by the Fed. We had supply problems. Like in 2020, it was hard to ship things. It was hard to get things done. Like, we had all the different stuff going on there. You had stimulus checks, which certainly were inflationary. We had government loans that everybody was taking out that gave all these people money. And that caused inflation as well. So it's kind of, and remember guys, I say this once, I'll say it again, inflation does not go down almost ever. Here's a CPI inflation graph. Inflation doesn't go down, bro, it slows down. And so you can kind of see the opposite trend here. Here's 2020. Again, we had the big tanking in the economy at 2020. And then all the consequence to inflation happened. Inflation got up to almost 10%. By 2022. Fed had a duty to raise rates at that point in time. They also did quantitative tightening, so it's the opposite of money printing. It's when they reduce their balance sheet by just letting, most of their balance sheet is bonds, right? So they just kind of let their bonds, what's called mature, and run off and don't buy more. And over time, it's called passive quantitative tightening. Over time, that reduces the Fed's balance sheet. But we did eventually stop QT. Was it last year that we stopped QT? Was it like November of last year, if I remember correctly, that we stopped quantitative tightening? But yeah. I don't like pre-market run-ups like this. Oil, or at least U.S. oil, should be higher. I think a reversal is likely. Yeah, I mean, more escalation overnight. You would think oil would be higher than it is now. But again, I think markets just care less about this stuff right now. Look at the NASDAQ, John. Are we wiggling a little bit? Let's see. Yeah, NASDAQ's doing okay. I mean, it's up. It filled some of the gap. Like, you can see when the Fed decision came out, it was not even like, it doesn't even look like it was the Fed decision. This was mostly timed with Warsh's statements. Like, this was post Warsh sell-off. So again, I told you guys I thought we might run up a little bit on, a little bit of a surprise for a pause. Markets priced in a rate hike at least a little bit more than they should have, I think, and we ran up a little bit. And then when Warsh started speaking, markets might correct back down, and that's exactly what we got. And now we're bouncing back up a little bit from that post FOMC sell-off, and we're up to, I mean, I'm looking at 28k. I think 28k, it's close to the high from the FOMC move. It's not the high from yesterday, but we do have the Asian session low down there. We can look at right under the previous closing price. So if we drop all the way down to this previous close right here, we'll see what happens, but we could continue dropping here, could continue falling. This level is really interesting because we got some lows down here, as well as it's the previous closing price. It's the red to green level. It's the Asian session low down there. This high up here is interesting. It's also right around 28,000, which is right there. So this is the range we're looking at, obviously, today. We'll see if markets continue to run up into the GDP data, into the PCE inflation data, and we'll see. Does PCE give the same impact as FOMC? No, PCE is generally less volatile, but we'll see. It depends on what it shows up as. With PCE data, it all depends on what we get, right? We get higher inflation, that might make people nervous. Again, and this is for the June report, right? So the dynamic for this inflation report today is going to be, if we get higher inflation, it's really bad. If we get lower inflation, I think markets might not react too much. We might react a little bit. If we get flat inflation data, then markets might not react. If we get lower inflation data, markets might not be as bullish as you might think they will. But if we get higher inflation data, that's not good because oil is back up from when this report was pulled. The data from this report was pulled. This is from June. So essentially what I'm trying to say with today's inflation report is higher is pretty bad, lower is okay, and flat is flat. Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is, are you bullish or bearish on today's report, guys? Let me know. Bitcoin ripped. Here's Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin flying up here.
Dude, you hit that thing so hard, it looked like it was coming out of your ears.
What, bro? Dude, I'm Johnny Supreme. Don't mess with me. You know?
See, you got it right that time. Everybody was saying Supreme Johnny or Supreme John earlier, and that just does not roll off the tongue as well.
Supreme John? I can respect it, you know? I am Supreme, you know?
Johnny Supreme is better.
It's definitely better. Yeah, so they're trying to get the Clarity Act passed, but it's stalled in the Senate. Validation of Fed decision. John Supreme buy. Bull today. We've seen this Bitcoin move before. Bears are in control. I'm saying this in my dreams. Are you bullish or bearish today? Dude, listen. That was my plan this whole time, Max. Anyone buying Meta? Does anybody want to buy Meta today? Hey, what's up, Faye? How you doing? What? What's so funny, Britt?
The way you said that, honestly, you just sounded like Mark Wahlberg and the other guys. Like, you know, he was like, "Yeah, whatever, Alan, go back inside."
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's what I was going for. I think interest rates not real important. Each person has slightly different goals. I currently have 2.9%, but refinancing to 6.4%, taking equity for other opportunities. Look, equities have fallen pretty far, and so you're interested in buying up stocks right now, Ronald. Does anybody want to buy Meta today? Definitely bullish today. No Meta day. What are you going to trade when the Pce Gdp happens? Buying more puts on Meta? You're buying the trap? I'm not buying anything. Bro, I'm just asking people, are they buying? I take the fifth. Okay, that's fair. I have a swing trade running in gold. Nice fate. You long in gold? Bull? Long-term Meta buy? I think Meta's pretty cheap down here, but, you know, I didn't buy Meta at 91s back here. I remember I did not like Meta at all. At the time, it was kind of a dumpster fire, though. Zuckerberg had spent $10 billion and lost $10 billion in the metaverse, right? So Meta had dropped all the way down to 91s. At the time, I wish I would have bought it. Okay, so you're long in gold.
What's up, Maishi? I think that's how you say it. I don't know. But what's up?
Yeah, so the...
Yes?
Yeah. The White House and Senate Republicans have recently negotiated a proposed crypto package, but the bill faces strong pushback. But that's probably why Bitcoin is up here, no? Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin kind of needs it here. We're heading into September, by the way. Or in August, so... Alright, so NATO's Supreme Allied Commander in Europe said the alliance will continue taking all necessary measures to defend NATO territory. Oil is dropping. I own Meta at 35. Nah, dude. Let it settle a little bit and then buy. Visa had an insane profit margin. Yeah, Visa... Did Visa have earnings this morning? Yeah. Visa drops in 5 minutes. So we'll see what Visa does. Are they out yet? It's not moving like it's out for Visa. I would have seen it if it was out, I think. But... yeah, DRS. All right, guys. PC inflation, 35 minutes. The Bank of England did pause rates, by the way, guys. I know I talked about this earlier, but the Bank of England did pause rates. Not a huge thing, all things considered, but they did pause rates today. Sorry, let me look up some other stuff here. Yeah, Iran says ships can pass if they accept Iranian arrangements on the path of authority, according to Mayor News. Again, Iran's IRGC said they attacked Azraq base in Jordan. Iran says it continues to talk with Oman about management of the Strait of Hormuz.
I mean, like, I know everybody is, I guess, you know, but like, I really am curious as to how that's all going to shake out in terms of, like, is the world really going to accept tolls? That's a really bad idea. It's a really bad precedent to set.
I don't think we will, or I don't think the world will. I think there's too much pressure for there to be no tolls, right? But on the other end of that, we have heard the president over the last week say some things that sounded like he might be willing. This was before the ceasefire ended, just to preface it. But he did say some things that sounded like he could be on board. I hope not, though. I mean, the whole goal here, especially in terms of yields, in terms of oil, in terms of inflation, is to go back to the pre-flow state of oil. Yeah, pre-conflict state of oil. You know, essentially they want the Strait of Hormuz open back like it was. So I think that if I hope not. I hope not.
I hope not too. Like I said, it would cause all kinds of trouble around the globe, not just there.
For sure. And they would get kickback from not just the U.S. for that. It would be, you know, it's unlikely, but it might cause the conflict to drag on.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So Visa earnings are out already. It's a huge beat. Are they really? Let me see. I mean, they're supposed to drop at 8, which is in 3 minutes. But I don't see anything for Visa here. Let me make sure. Visa. Okay, maybe they... was Visa last night? I don't know. I'm showing Visa posted 323 EPS non-GAAP, 297 GAAP EPS. Yeah, so Visa ripped up yesterday morning, so I guess that's when they posted it. Which is weird because... Oh, MasterCard. I'm sorry, it's not Visa. It's MasterCard releases in 2 minutes. So MasterCard releases in about a minute and a half. Not Visa, my bad. Visa beat and did well. MasterCard is the one that drops in a minute and a half. Okay, gotcha.
Let's see.
It's the June data, so it's a little delayed, but that's what I'm saying. Like, again, with the PC inflation data today, it really is a situation in which higher's objectively bad. Lower's okay, although people will say, hey, oil's higher now than it was when they pulled this data. And that's why higher is bad, because if we're higher, even with the low oil data, then that's bad, right? Lower will be discounted a little bit, and flat is obviously flat.
Oman Sultan spoke with new PM Burnham about regional developments. I don't know what that means, but, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Oman is
sounds like it's
definitely
English.
right in the middle of things right now, so it's got to mean something.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's British. So I see somebody say, did you ever get access to single stock futures? He was able to access. Yeah, I mean, I can trade single stock futures, but here's NVIDIA futures right now. You know, this is the volume. So we got to wait a little bit to see if the volume goes up for single stock futures. But this is the volume as of now for single stocks. It's just not good. It's not good enough to trade. The volume's too low here. And this is one of the reasons they got rid of single stock futures, is because it had such low volume. But yeah, this is NVIDIA single stock futures right now. So it's not tradable, really. Not unless you're taking much longer term trades, much longer term bets. But yeah, what time is PCE inflation? Listen, my friend, I'm not going to say there's a timer over there at the bottom of the screen with the exact time it releases, as well as like a countdown timer for yourself. I'm not saying that's the case.
I don't see that timer, John.
Anyone naming their kid Hormuz? Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Violet?
There can't be a rate cut. Honestly, bro, what are... okay, listen. The poll... Look at this poll right now, guys. We got over 400 votes in like a couple minutes. Who is voting on this poll right now, dude? Look at this poll. Do we get a rate cut this year? 40% of you think we're getting a rate cut? Explain this to me.
Either that or 40% of them are trolling everybody.
Right, listen. If you voted yes, show yourselves here. Don't lurk, all right? I like the lurkers. I like you, okay? But if you voted 40% on this poll, explain yourself here.
Defend your position.
You've got some explaining to do, because I've got to hear it. I'm curious to see what y'all thinking here. Yeah, what are y'all talking about? Do we get a rate cut this year? Yes or no? Let me know. I voted yes. Okay, if you voted yes, what's your argument for a rate cut? Like, what's your scenario playing out in which we get a rate cut? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not against you. Listen, you know, it's all love here. Even though I think you're wrong, and maybe I'll eat my words with this one. It's possible. But,
I'll just use ketchup.
Yeah, I mean, what's your argument here? Markets always make a new high from late years, so a rate cut would fit with these long-term cycles. Do the real interest rates, real rate equals Fed rate minus inflation. Bad jobs data is incoming. A recession. PCE will be cool equals rate cut. Oil will come down. Okay, so we got some rate cut people here. Why do you think oil's coming down? Do you think the conflict will settle? Felt bad for the yeses. We need to raise rates, not cut. Jobs mandate is 5% unemployment. We're at 4.2%. Yeah, but the inflation mandate is 2%. We're at 3.5%, basically. So the rate hike is justified. We get a rate cut if Iran and U.S. make peace. Yeah, we would, but it needs to be a Goldilocks scenario. And I don't know if we're going to get that Goldilocks scenario. But the no's are still asleep. Tariffs, extreme inflation, running third terms, complete wild card. Who knows? Labor market, brother. Yeah, I mean, the labor market has been, the last report was what was it? 60, was it? I'm trying to think if it was 47 or 67. Oh, no, it was 57. Yeah, so the last NFP report was 57K. The next one we get is Friday of next week. So next Friday, not the movie, but the actual next Friday, yeah, we showed up at 57 last time. Unemployment rate showed up at 4.2%, which was lower than expected last time, if I remember correctly. But the next one we get is next Friday on August 7th. So that'll be another look at labor market. And really, we got a bunch of job reports next week, all things considered. Like, we got a bunch of job reports. Buller barrel GDP. Yeah, GDP is expected to show up today. I'm trying to think if the last one was for quarter one, and this is the first quarter two GDP. I think it might be, right? 2.1% is what they're expecting. Let me see. Let me check this. Chat will probably answer before time, but...
You knew why I was laughing, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue. Oil coming down here, but still up on the day. Yeah, I'm trying to see if it's the first quarter two print. I'll have to check. Yeah, there's oil. Here's the NASDAQ here. Yeah, NASDAQ's still moving up here. It's been basically pushing up all morning. It's at 27,743s right now. Yeah, I'm trying to see if is this quarter two prelim data? Like, the way GDP works, by the way, just so you understand it. So yeah, this is quarter two prelim data. So it's the first quarter two look. It's the first look at quarter two from April to June. Because the way GDP works, right? Like, it's all quarterly. But the way it works, because it's all quarterly and we still get one a month, is that we'll get quarter one advance estimate, we'll get quarter two advance estimate today, and then next month we'll get quarter two first revision, and then we'll get quarter two final revision the next month, right? So it goes in 3-month cycles, quarter cycles for GDP. This is the first look at quarter two. It is expected basically at what the last one was, right? Which is today it's expected at 2.1% for GDP. And last time I thought it came in kind of low. But PCE is expected at 3.3. Last time was 3.4. It's expected to dip. Remember, core PCE is the big one. We'll see if we have any secondary effects from oil prices. Did we get MasterCard earnings? I believe we probably did, right? But the Bank of England Governor Bailey is still speaking. He says UK economic activity is subdued and the labor market is soft. There's little as of yet to suggest higher energy prices are embedded. We stand ready to adjust our stance as the outlook evolves. There's no evidence of second round effects, but we cannot draw too much comfort from this, they say. And we also had inflation for Germany come out.
Hey, what's up, Femi?
Hey, how you doing, Femi? Buy? Is today a buy to sell? Lurkers unite? Creep up on John and Britt? You're not a lurker.
John and Britt?
I never said I agree with the tolls. Any reason stocks are finally up? Well, a lot of this is due to Microsoft. You know, like, look at Microsoft today. It's still breaking highs as of this morning. So Microsoft's earnings yesterday were good. Great Azure growth. And this is one of the reasons that markets are getting pulled up this morning is Microsoft. Now, if you look at Meta, it's down a lot. So it does kind of, compensate for some of the strength, but markets are still up pretty, decently on this. Nvidia up to 194s here, starting to rebound some from that post FOMC drop. Higher oil prices, yeah. But again, we got 25 minutes left, guys. 25 minutes. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Thank you for tuning into the channel, and yeah, we appreciate it. Now, I think the Bank of Japan is. When is the Bank of Japan rate decision? Yeah, the Bank of Japan rate decision is tonight. So it's not out. So this is tonight. Regarding the Bank of Japan. And I think that will have a impact on markets for sure here. Yeah, we are getting bounce backs. Look at Tesla. It is up a little bit, but it hit 290s yesterday post FOMC and post Meta drop. Look, Tesla's still really freaking scary here. Here's SpaceX, guys. Look at SpaceX. SpaceX is moving a little bit this morning. It's up to 116s today. John, is Meta good long term? Honestly, bro, probably. It depends on what we're talking about long term. We're talking decades, probably. Probably.
Thanks, glass half full. The donation.
Yeah, I see it, man. Considering futures, is trading futures very similar to trading stocks? Are taxes easier or more difficult? Is it worth trading options on futures? Are the futures contracts more profitable? Options is going to be much more complex to trade. There's a lot of risks in options. There's a lot of time decay and the Greeks. You got to understand a lot of different aspects of options trading. But with that complexity, you can maybe find discrepancies in profitable stuff if you know it really well. But it's definitely more complex. Futures, if you're day trading, is similar to day trading stocks. Very similar to day trading stocks. You just got to learn, you got to make sure you're in the right contract. They expire quarterly. And again, you can't trade, you can trade stocks directly now in single stock futures, but the volume is really light. And so most people gravitate towards the NASDAQ. Here's the NASDAQ. They gravitate towards indices, like the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell. They gravitate to commodities like gold and silver and oil. But I would say if you're watching data in the economy like me, you can find some good trades in commodities and futures and equities. And so there's some stuff to get involved with. Chat, what do you guys think? But I appreciate the donation. Thanks so much, man. But futures are good. It depends on what you're doing, though. If you're swing trading, realistically, I'd probably stick to stocks, because I think one of the big edges in swing trading is that, one of my favorite strategies for swing trading is very simple. I look for healthy companies to dump big, and then I buy the dip and I sit on it. And most of the time, they're going to rebound within a few weeks. If they don't rebound, to be honest, a lot of the time I'll just sit on them long term. Because long term, even if they don't rebound short term, and I got to hold through some volatility, long term they're still probably going up. And if I add it to my long term portfolio, I can have a cheap entry long term as well. And so it kind of creates this situation where, regardless of what happens, you're probably going to make money. And the ones you don't make money in that continue falling, you generally compensate those by the winners. And so that's how I trade in swing trade, especially. But I will say, if you're swing trading, futures probably aren't the move, just because they expire quarterly. You're not going to be able to sit on them long term, and it just takes one of the edges away from it, in my opinion. But again, let me know what you guys think. It's a good conversation to have. John, are we getting lurkers badges? Yeah, it depends on your time horizon, 100%. I just got an email saying it's fantasy football season. The Saints are doing it this year, bro. Shuck is gonna do it. The Saints are gonna freaking do it, bro.
Gotta be super honest.
Don't rain on my parade. Don't rain on my parade, Britt.
I don't care what happens to the Saints or all of football. I don't care.
How dare you? Okay, you're a Louisianian, Britt. You got to ride with Louisiana, dude.
If they do win, I'm happy. I'll be a fair weather fan. But I'm not going to invest my time or emotions into the Saints this year.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's hard to do, bro. Last year we did great. Was it last year that we came out swinging and we had two? Maybe it was the year before, where we had 2 or 3 games. We were undefeated the first 3 games or whatever it was, and then we lost 10 games in a row. I don't even want to, It's a bad time. It's a bad time. Let's go. Yes, sir. Learn, enjoy, relax. But do you guys agree with my swing trading outlook? I see Alexis say I'm starting with a very small amount. Starting with a small amount is okay. It's Shuck. Shuck is the Saints QB this year. And he's good too, bro. That's why I'm optimistic this year. Like, once we threw Shuck in and we got rid of what's-his-face, then we started to do well at the end of last year. So I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic.
I'm sorry, Faye, but to be honest, I only ever really watched football to hang out with my friends. Like, yeah, I was invested in it at the time because, you get kind of caught up in the frenzy of the crowd, so to speak. But, what can I say?
Yeah.
I like UFC and I like boxing. I'm not real big on other sports other than, like, maybe baseball or soccer.
Yeah, I don't see any news of Japan holding rates. I see they're set to hold rates, but I don't see any news. Usually, again, some of my sources are saying it's tomorrow. Maybe I'm wrong there. Do you invest your time into Pokemon holographic cards? No.
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah. We're rooting for the Rattler. Spencer Rattler, man, he's just not the answer, dude. I wanted him to do well. I genuinely wanted him to do well. Again, he was on some of the sports documentaries that I watched, even before he was with the Saints. I wanted him to do good. But he just didn't. He just didn't,
How do you not do good with an awesome name like Rattler?
I know, bro. Hey, listen, and my guy's quick. Like, he's quick. He just didn't do good. Maybe he's a little too small. I don't know.
It'd be like if a guy with the last name Stone wasn't tough,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, he's tough. Don't get me wrong. I mean, anybody in the NFL is tough, but he's not.
Well, yeah, no.
For them. You got some monsters on there. So, yeah, Bank of Japan decisions at 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was tonight. It's looking like they're going to hold rates steady, but I don't think they've made that decision yet. And again, gold, guys, is interesting today. Oil is still down. Does anybody want to buy oil here? Yeah, does anybody want to buy oil? If it goes to 300 down, I just want to start with another ETH. Yeah, crypto doing good. Crypto sports channel, no stock channel. Bro, we talk about stocks here, Kim. Yeah, throw Johnny Manziel in the UFC, bro. I'll watch that for sure. I'll pay to watch it. He's gonna get beat up, but I'll pay to watch it.
I would pay to watch that. Yeah,
yeah. Throw that guy in there, dude.
Did not appreciate LSU having to play against him.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, some of those years I was fucking heated, dude. I was
me too.
Some of those years, bro. But I started rooting for him in the end. But man. But anyways, guys, do you think the Nasdaq continues to run up here? We got 15 minutes left until PCE and GDP data drops. 15 minutes, a little bit over that. We'll see what happens with the Nasdaq. It's starting to kind of quiet down a little bit ahead of this. Oil 78, I'll buy it again. Yeah, US is gonna stay on the straight. Yeah, I think so. But here we go, guys. Here we go. Please don't swear. I'm sorry. I just wanted to really how upset I was at Johnny Manziel those years, dude. I just wanted to really reinforce that because I was freaking heated, dude. Honestly, we've had some bad games against A&M. The refs, bro. The refs with A&M, dude.
Dude, the refs have always been against LSU, just like Vern Lundquist was always against LSU. I hated when he called the games.
Yeah, dude. Again, at A&M, I think they're always kind of super friendly to A&M as well.
They are. As well as USC and the Buckeyes.
Yeah, does anybody want to buy Memory today? Memory names, is this worth a buy? Memory's starting to bounce back a little bit here. But overnight, like in regards to Memory and the Kospi index and all that stuff, the bounces are failing. Kospi opened up only 0.3%, rallied 5% at one point in the morning to session highs of 59.76, and then faded all afternoon, closed at 55.93, down 69 points. So another straight down day in the Kospi index. The session range was over 400 points, though. And so markets are still worried about Memory here, guys. And again, these companies, like the reason Memory's been a big story over the last week, just to kind of give you guys some examples of this. Hold on. The reason Memory's been bouncing back so much, or I'm sorry, the reason Memory's been volatile is because we had a Chinese company that is getting involved with lithography machines, right, which produce chips. One of the companies IPO'd and went up like 466%. That has caused some fears in memory suppliers, specifically MU. SanDisk has been an absolute dumpster fire the last couple, weeks. Dropped from 2,400 at the highs down to under 1,000 at one point. It's back up to 1070s, but yesterday, SanDisk, which is probably the most volatile memory name, hit 970s, under 1,000 here today. And again, these have caused a lot of volatility at the opening bell every day, just because these have dumped a lot. It's kind of scary. So again, on Monday this week, a Chinese company began manufacturing immersion DUV lithography machines. ASML, which is kind of the monopoly on this, tanked from it. Here's ASML here. Again, they're back up a little bit today, but ASML absolutely dumped on this news. They tanked a huge amount. Reuters did confirm the story by Tuesday. The company's name is Shanghai Electronic Technology Group. So it's a state-owned Chinese firm. It's got $7 billion, about $1 billion in USD capital. But again, immersion DUV, they can't print what we're printing still. So the monopoly on ASML is still there. But at the very least, they might eat some of the business. Semi-analysis quoted to CNBC, quote, tool performance, scaling production of the machine itself, fleet performance, surrounding ecosystem, and poor economics against fully depreciated ASML machines all stack up against China DUV. So ASML is still pretty safe, but it did react negatively originally. But again, all of this, we had recent Chinese firm, again, the one that went up 466% IPO this week. CXMT is their largest memory maker. 8.6 billion Shanghai IPO. It's the largest listing in Asia this year. We also had DeepSeek come out with some stuff, and so chips have just gotten scared over the last week. Again, big names in chips: MU, SanDisk, SK Hynix. Obviously, they did their IPO in the US with their ADR IPO last week or a couple weeks ago, really. But it's bearish long term for MU, WDC, SK Hynix, Samsung. Competition's growing. China domestic memory, might be supplying more. It's not an immediate threat though here, but there's still risk here. But again, guys, we got 11 minutes until PCE inflation, guys. 11 minutes.
Hey, thanks for the second donation, glass half full.
Oh, did we get another one? Did I miss it?
Yes.
Oh.
Same guy, yeah. Or person.
How about having Britt present chat questions to you, John? Hey, thank you, glass half full. Yeah, no, Britt already does that. He just does it in the background. So, yeah, he just does it in the background.
Yeah. But good idea, though. So, again, thanks for the donation.
Shrib says, I am not a bot invested heavily in gold. Why should I? Who are you? Who are you, Shram? Listen, Shram, I appreciate you, bro. Listen, Shram, real quick, just so I know you're not a bot. What's your favorite asset to buy outside of gold? What's your favorite asset to buy outside of gold? Answer me now. Answer me now. Let me guess. Cooked books on PCE today? We'll see, Womble. We'll see, bro. Again, we got 9.5 minutes.
Answer him this, answer him that. Who's afraid?
Yeah, I'm looking at oil. Oil is down on the day. Bitcoin? Okay. Not a bot. Definitely not a bot. Block him just in case. Yeah. Here. 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes.
What a hater.
Johnny Supreme, my guy Shadow. You know, bro. You know, dude. Put him in timeout. Bitcoin definitely a bot.
We're about to roll some heads. Are we down the rabbit hole, Kay?
Y'all chill out. Chill out. So I did see that we have continued movement of ships through the Bab al-Mandab Strait, according to Al Hadath. MasterCard did report earnings. They posted at 504 versus 477 expected, 9.3 billion in rev versus 907 expected. So Bitcoin is a bot answer. I know, Shrimp. I'm just messing with you, my friend. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Hey, what's up, Don? What's up, bro? All right, here we go. PCE inflation data releasing 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. GDP data releasing 8:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Thanks for the donation, Ilios. Ilios says, is GDP important today or PCE more important?
I would say PCE is probably a little bit more important considering the oil prices, inflation prices over the last little bit. It is the first quarter too, so I think they're comparable for sure. It is the first quarter too. It's the advanced estimate for quarter two, so it's the first look at quarter two GDP. But I would still say PCE is a little bit more important. Just based off of inflation dynamic that we're seeing with oil and inflation and the Fed and rate hike odds and all that stuff going on. I think PCE is a little bit more important, but not a large amount. Thank you for the donation, my friend. Shout out to the donos, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, you guys.
I'm not a bot, bro. It's definitely what a bot would say.
Okay, stop griefing the dude.
Y'all chill out, man. Y'all chill out. Yeah. How will gold react to PCE today? So we don't know. It depends on what PCE shows up as. Again, if we show up higher PCE, gold's probably coming down here. So if PCE inflation shows up noticeably higher than expected, obviously gold's coming down just because gold is so rate and yield sensitive right now. And higher PCE, higher inflation, it means higher yields because higher rate sentiment, if that makes sense. And so because of that, gold will probably fall if we get higher inflation. If we get lower inflation, gold might go up some, but I don't know how much it's going to go up just because I think lower inflation might be discounted a little bit from the June report, but higher inflation will be a bad sign because, again, this is from the previous month where oil settled. So if we still get higher inflation, markets might not like it and they might still effectively, drop. But it's nuanced though. We'll see. You never know for sure. Hey, Barefoot Sailing, always appreciate you both. Thank you, Barefoot Sailing. I appreciate you, my friend. Even though I get seasick, respect.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you please tell me what may happen in gold? I think I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So which way? It depends on what you think inflation data shows up as. And maybe I should end this poll. Ask, will we get a rate cut this year? 40% of you guys still think we're getting a rate cut this year. But higher or lower PCE inflation data? We're going to do a poll real quick right now.
All right. No problem,
Higher,
Shram.
Lower, as expected. There's the poll right now. PCE data today, again, guys, is expected here. I'll put the expectations up for PCE. Yeah, but again, PCE is expected at 0.2% on the month. Last time it was 0.3%. This is core. Core is the most important one for PCE inflation, which excludes food and energy prices. Year over year expected at 3.3 versus 3.4%. So essentially 0.2%. Both core month over month and year over year are expected to downtick 0.1%. 0.2 versus 0.3 last time. 3.3 versus 3.4 last time for PCE. GDP is expected at 2.1. Jobless claims. Again, jobs. People are talking about the reason they think we're gonna cut rates this year is because of weakness in labor. Jobless claims do show up today. The last jobless claims report was 187,000. Very low for jobless claims, which is stronger for jobs. Jobless claims are how many people are filing for unemployment. Yeah, that's what's going on today. Here's gold, and then here is the NASDAQ. Right now, we'll put both of those up right here. But here's the NQ. NQ's running a little bit, but yeah, I'll put this up in chat right now.
All right, then.
Yeah, expected at 0.2, 0.3% previously. Year over year core expected at 3.3 versus 3.4% previously. All right, so here's the data. I'll put it up on screen, guys.
Hey, what's up, Sam?
Hey, how you doing, Sam? All right, here we go. Let's get some better music here, guys.
Hey, that was a funny way to put that.
All right, here we go. Here's the data expectations right here. I'll put it up on the bottom. There you go. All right, here we go, guys. It's time. We got 4 minutes left here. 4 minutes. Gold bots activated. I don't know. Some of these guys are not bots.
I'm a bot.
Gold buy or sell. You are a bot. Some of these guys are definitely bots. But that's how it
okay.
goes. Yeah.
They're everywhere.
How do you feel about Warsh? He seems like someone wants to approach the market with invisible hand approach. Yeah, I mean, he does give out a lot of data. All right, look at gold, though. Gold just jumped up a little bit. NASDAQ still pretty stagnant here. But I think gold markets may be getting priced into lower inflation data is what this is. Again, inflation data drops in 3.5 minutes here. So I think markets might be getting priced into a little bit of... markets might be getting priced into a little bit more of a dovish outcome, a little bit lower inflation data outcome here for GDP and PCE inflation here. Gold rises on low inflation data? Yes, I believe so. It's not 100% though. I think it would be discounted a little bit, but I think to a certain extent, yes. I think gold will rise some on lower inflation data. I see Niels from the Netherlands says Claude thinks core PCE will show up at 0.1% year over year at 3.3%, GDP at 2.2%. I think those are reasonable predictions from Claude.
Well, it seems to get pretty close on some of them. Well, I don't know about all of them, but some of them.
Yeah. Dare I ask, gold buy or sell? Is gold a buy or sell? I had this report. We got gold up on screen. Yeah, here we go. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes left here. We got almost 2,000 people here. Let's see what happens. I'm a lurker, not a bot. That's fair. Lurkers, show yourself. Some of you guys don't say anything. Y'all watch the stream. Y'all take advantage of our data releases, but you never say anything. I'm talking to you right now. Say something, lurkers. Show yourselves. All right, it's the lurk bat signal right now. We got a minute and 45 seconds. I want you to show yourself and participate in the chat. Pooh, there you are. Lab Unite. Hey, my guys. Lurking. What's up, Wisdom? StarCraft lurkers. Bank of England's Governor Bailey is also speaking simultaneously. Here we go. We got a minute and a half left. We got 2,000 here. Working, lurking. Where are you watching from, lurkers? Let me know. All right, here we go. I'm going to put it in sub-only mode. That might get rid of some of these guys, but...
Also, StarCraft rocks.
Yeah, all right, guys, here we go. 1 minute left until PCE GDP jobless claims all released live at 8:30. We got the expectations on the screen here. I'll put them up a little bit larger for you, but we do have the expectations right here. Here we go. Let's see what we do in gold. Let's see what the NASDAQ does. Let's see what the oil market does. 50 seconds. A little bit less than that, actually. Here we go. 40 seconds. 40 seconds. See, we get 30 seconds here, guys. 30 seconds. Lurking from Germany, my guy. Hey, 20 seconds. 25 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you catch up to the chat. We appreciate it. Look at gold fall a little bit ahead of this. 15 seconds here, guys. 15 seconds. 10 seconds now. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's the data release right now. Okay, guys. So jobless claims showed up at 197,000. Lower than expected. PCE 0.1% for core as expected year over year. So Claude was right. GDP showed up much weaker than expected though at 1.5% for quarter 2 versus 2.1% expected. NASDAQ and gold have jumped up a little bit on this. Again, inflation data was somewhat low, but GDP was weak. This is a dovish report. Lower inflation by a small margin, but GDP showed up at 1.5%, noticeably weaker than the 2.1% expected for quarter 2. Again, watch yields here, guys. The NASDAQ and gold have originally reacted positively to this, but they're starting to reverse back down some on this here, guys. So we are starting to reverse back down. GDP 1.5%, guys, 1.5%. We'll put some of this data up on screen here. But again, PCE month over month did show up at core 0.1%, headline negative 0.1%, all as expected, except for core PCE month over month did show up lower than expected for core PCE. Again, 0.1 versus 0.2% expected. GDP was bad, though. GDP was bad. So GDP, again, 1.5%. NASDAQ originally reacted positively. It's starting to turn back down some on this data here. So again, we'll put this up on screen, but this is not good data in terms of GDP, and I think the market still might fear a little bit here. Again, GDP data. Here's PCE. We'll put this up on screen, but look at the GDP data, guys. This is one of the stories. 1.5% GDP versus 2.1% expected. Again, 1.5% GDP versus 2% expected here. Look at this data. So GDP was weak. NASDAQ does not love this so far. First move was the wrong move. Look at the GDP print. 1.5 versus 2.1%. So I wouldn't say this is good here, but yeah. GDP weak. NASDAQ started to turn back down. I might trade this. So let's see if we get into some trades. But GDP weaker than expected. Core PCE better than expected. But again, we showed up weaker than expected for GDP at 1.5%. Core PCE showed up at 0.1%. So a little bit better than expected. But the GDP print might still freak markets out. Again, I'll make a banner for the bottom of the screen so you can see this. But yeah, NASDAQ has turned down here. Gold has turned down even more. But maybe the GDP, it should be good for gold, all things considered, because lower yields all around here. If we take a look at treasuries right now, and I think that's one of the big stories here. If we take a look at treasuries here, that is what you want to pay attention to, because like yields, that is what you want to pay attention to. Yeah. Markets are so far coming down here. But yeah, I'll put this up on screen here so you can see it. But yeah, is this bullish or bearish, guys? Again, PCE data showed up mostly lower or as expected, but GDP is the big headline here. That's scary. Look, we'll put it on the bottom of the screen. Again, 0.1% versus 0.2% expected for core, which is the biggest one. But look at that print here. So let's see if we get into some trades right now. But PCE data did show up lower than expected here. I might buy gold a little bit here, to be honest. I'm looking at buying gold right here. If there are bots, they're going to love it. But I'm going to buy gold right now on this dip and see what happens here. I'll take a couple contracts of gold. I think this should be good for gold all around. When we look at yields right now, I'm assuming yields are going to go down on this report. But what's strangely is that yields are going up on lower inflation data and weaker GDP. Both of those should push yields down. But so far, they haven't fallen as much as you might think so far here. But again, yields should go down on this report. This is weaker. This is lower inflation and weaker economics, which means that we have lower interest rate sentiment. And so, again, I'm going to take a little bit more in my gold trade here, maybe take 4 contracts, see if we start to bounce up a little bit from this. But this should make yields fall, gold go up. But we'll see. Again, we'll see here, guys. What do you guys think? Is this good or bad? Let's see. AI doesn't produce yet. Bullish. Why buy gold when the 10 year is going up? I don't know why the 10 year is going up on this. Again, we're going to take a little trade. We made so much this week, though. We're up thousands. But be careful. Again, I assume yields are going to come down some. This is, look, PCE inflation lower than expected. Month over month, core, which is the most important one. GDP 1.5% is just kind of the scary number versus 2.1 expected. Prior was 2.1%. So a miss here. But again, I think maybe we'll get a rebound in gold. Maybe that's what I'm buying here, is potentially a rebound in gold. We'll see. Yeah, there's a little bounce. We'll give it some time though. Yield is increasing slightly. Yeah, that again, sometimes it's a little nonsensical, but 10 to 20% correction coming soon to a computer near you. NASDAQ is recovering. Yeah, I assume this is going to make yields fall. No? I mean, maybe markets are still priced into the Fed decision yesterday, but it seems like a report in which yields will go down. Again, lower PCE, weaker GDP. Those two things should make yields fall. I'm going to take a piece of this off just to protect it right now. So we are green on this. But gold did start to turn back around. Curious to see what 930 does. Yeah, now we're heading into the opening bell here today, guys. So we are going to head into the opening bell. We'll see what we get. But we should be heading into the opening bell, and maybe we'll get some of this volatility unlocked. If inflation kicks back up, we'll be in stagflation and we'll be screwed. Yeah, but I've said this once, I'll say it again, right? Even if we start to head towards a recession, people are always like, hey, let's, yields are starting to fall back down a little bit. Number one, I'm looking at yields right now. But we can cut interest rates. People are against cutting interest rates, and I understand it. But I think in a situation in which we're heading towards a recession, if the weakness in GDP becomes more pronounced, and we start heading towards a recession, remember, a recession is technically defined as 2 consecutive losing quarters in GDP, like negative quarters in GDP. But if we start to trend towards a recession, I think we should cut, obviously. And people are saying, oh, well, why wait? Because if you're not proactive and we start to go into a recession, right, then what do we have to do? We have to kind of super ease to get us out of it. We have to do quantitative easing and print more. And that's going to cause more inflation than anything else regardless, right? And so at a certain point, we did get another gold bounce. I'm going to take some more profit here into this little bounce in gold. I thought gold would rebound. I'll put a 1-minute chart up so you guys can see it. But it's a tricky situation. But we are green in this trade, nicely enough. Cutting rates is inflationary? Well, sure. But cutting rates brings yields down, not up. And so even if it's a more inflationary long term, it's not as inflationary as like printing, but it is inflationary, obviously. A good excuse for a correction. Yeah, I'm just trying to trade the short movement here. It's a very small move. GDP taking a hit. Tariffs. Any trade that closes green is a nice trade. I'll take it. I mean, it's a small move, but we're not really getting much in gold here, to be honest. So, what's the Nasdaq doing here? We'll come back to the trade. Nasdaq starting to rebound a little bit here as well. So we do have a range to watch here today. Yeah, I don't know if I like this background music. Right now, the dollar is a safe haven. Yeah, I'm sure the dollar index from this should be going down. Yeah, it is going down on this report. And the logic of this is like the Dixie. The dollar index goes down from lower yields. Why does it go down from lower yields? It's because when yields go up, more people buy bonds. And what do they have to buy U.S. Treasury bonds with? Does anybody know? Have I not told you guys this already? What do people buy Treasury bonds with? Does anybody at home remember? It's not peanuts. It's not bananas. It's not gold.
The dollar?
They buy it with the dollar. That's right. And so when yields go up, the dollar increases because people have to use the dollar to buy bonds. And so when yields go down and we have like a dovish sentiment, the dollar index should in theory fall. But it's not a perfect theory. You know, it's definitely not perfect. Gold is starting to bounce back up here. I'll take a little bit more off in the trade. It's a small trade. But I thought gold would rebound a little bit from this, and maybe the first few moves was the wrong moves. But gold is starting to pop back up. Yeah. Dollar bill, y'all. Yes, sir. You know. Gold should go up a little bit, and then, I mean, again, we're in the gold trade. We're green. I've been liking trading gold lately, though, man. GDP private demand is strong, up 3.9%. Yeah, we can, GDP data, again, weaker than expected, 1.5% is the shocking print. I think inflation data was mostly flat, but GDP showed up weaker. It should be dovish. Yields should fall from this, and they are falling a little bit, but not a lot. I don't know. The real. Glad to see you're no longer a gold hater. I've never been a gold hater, bro. I might have said it was weak at 2,000 years ago. Don't remind me. But I've never been a gold hater. I like gold long term.
Mostly just don't like people spamming. What about gold? What about gold? Buy gold.
Yeah. Gold is foundational. Yeah. All right, there we go. Gold's jumping up a little bit more now. Look at this. All right, I'm going to take the rest off here. Made a few $100s pretty easily on this trade. Look at gold jump right now, guys. I'm gonna cut it right there into that strength. You'd love to see it. You love to see it. It's been easy to make money lately in gold. Yields don't trust the GDP PCE numbers. Yeah, that's probably true, at least to a certain extent. But look at gold pop up some here. Here's the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is sitting at 27,780s here. So we'll see if we hold, but... Do you guys like buying gold at these current levels? So let's do a poll. We did 41% said higher inflation data today, and y'all were wrong, chat. Let's do another poll here. Is gold a buy or sell today? Is gold a buy or sell? Always hold gold. Yeah, that's probably true. Better buy at 2,900. Yeah, I mean, it's a better buy at $50, but we'll see if we hit that. You know, big if. But again, GDP weakened. Definitely not good. 1.5%. So maybe the cut people were, you know, people. I did a poll earlier, and the big question I asked them is, do we get a rate cut this year? 40% of the chat said yes, we do get a rate cut. Look at gold bounce even more. But 50%, 40% said we would get a cut this year. And so it's looking a little bit more probable for a cut. I'll give you guys that. Let's see if the rate odds have changed some here. So the rate odds, let's see if they moved at all from this. Yeah, rate hike is still 60% likely as of next meeting, but still 40% chance we pause again. And if we continue to see weak economic data, like just to give you guys some scenarios, if we get NFP data come out on Friday that is weaker than expected, some of the cut odds might have a little bit more validation here. Hey, thank you, David. Crazy rich friend just bought a suitcase of gold. Do you mean a suitcase full of gold, David, or do you mean a suitcase made of gold?
That was my question.
Yeah, like it depends on which one. I mean, they're both cool. I'd probably rather a suitcase full of gold, personally. But, you know, a gold suitcase is cool, too.
Gotta be careful, though.
Yeah, you gotta be careful right now, especially.
Walking around with a gold suitcase.
Or a suitcase full of gold, you know.
I think there was a guy in India who like had a shirt made of like woven gold. It weighed like 40 pounds or something. Yeah, he got robbed, you know. So
yeah, what's up, Trader Joe? Why not a gold suitcase full of gold? Hey, a gold suitcase full of gold is the best of both worlds, you know. Gold is the new buy it and hold stock. You store, get it a suitcase. Okay, gold is always a buy. Long term, yeah. I'm jealous, man. I want a suitcase full of gold, dude. Tell them to hit me up and give it to me. All right, guys. So yeah, let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is still in the midst of its rebound, starting to pull back a little bit. But again, I thought this would make yields fall more than they did. We still got the move in gold that we wanted, but yields have started to turn back around from this report. Yields were up here prior to this report. If you look at 2-year treasuries, yields are up here. They're now down to here. Here's 830 right here. So yields have fallen from this report, don't get me wrong, but they haven't fallen as much as, you know, I would expect with 1.5% GDP. Again, the economy slowed to 1.5% in Q2. June core inflation at 3.3% on the year. Yields will keep rising. The Fed lost control. All right, so we did our poll here. Is today a buy or sell? 71% say today is a buy. Apparently, 29% think today is a sell. Again, let me know in chat right now, buy or sell. What's your argument for it? Meta is still one of the big prime stories here. Look at Meta. Meta's down to 520s here today. So 520s. Let's see what happens. But Meta, all the way down to 528s. Looking a little scary.
You hate to see it, but
yeah.
What would weigh more, a suitcase made of gold or a suitcase full of gold? I'm going to go full of gold just based on volume.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going full of gold too. I think a full of gold suitcase would probably be more gold than a suitcase made of gold, unless it was full of gold as well. Sam's still saying, I'll swap the physical gold I have under my bed for an invite to Google Camp 2026. I mean, I'll invite you, Sam. Like, listen, you're invited. Show up.
I can invite you all kinds of places. I just can't get you in.
Tell him John at Beginner Trading sent you. You know, Large Marge sent you. Okay.
Oh, right this way, sir.
But yeah, I mean, listen, you can show up. You're invited by me. I expect the gold any day now, Sam. Any day. Yeah, Microsoft, guys, is helping rebound the market is really what this is. Microsoft earnings yesterday killed it. They did great. I am in Microsoft, and I love to see this. We're up to 427s right now in Microsoft. It's kind of helping the market right now in what's still a scary market in a lot of people's eyes. Bank of England Governor Bailey does say, do not leave this room thinking that the Bank of England is edging towards a hike. Kazakhstan is in talks with Russia on processing Russian crude. Microsoft ponders an open weight AI as China models gain ground, according to the Nikkei. Yeah, the U.S. economy, again, 1.5% growth rate in quarter two. In June, core inflation 3.3%. Did we get more earnings? No. Look at gold, though. Gold's starting to turn back down a little bit, so maybe it's a good thing I got out of my trade quickly here. But look at gold start to turn. What's the NASDAQ doing? NASDAQ's starting to turn as well. Doesn't look like it's big news, but we are starting to move here in the NQ. So let's see what we get. I might trade a little bit more, but we're going to give it some time. Gold will crash to 3,500 in a few weeks. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, Miami's cost of living surpasses New York City for the first time ever.
That's interesting. I heard it's really expensive out there. I've never been to Miami, but I've heard it's expensive.
Me either. I would like to visit it, I think, you know.
Yeah, somebody said Microsoft dumped. What is he talking about? Yeah, because look, if there's no chart that shows a dump, it's this. Look at this. What a dump for Microsoft. You know? Small correction. Hopefully the NASDAQ will hit 28,000 and fall like a rock. 28K is not that far away from us here. I mean, 28,000 is a couple $100 up. Maybe, what, 200 points higher, 220? Here's 28,000. So we're still a ways away from that. I don't know if we're going to hit that today. The corrections will come from the macro. A dump under zero gravity. Motorbike traffic in Miami.
I just thought about that.
Max, you sound like you're about a 60-year-old man. Motorbikes. What is a motorbike, dude? Somebody tell me what a motorbike is. I don't even know.
Yeah, I know. Something like a horseless carriage, I think.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah, that makes sense. Does gold go up if GDP drops and the dollar drops? Gold's nuanced. All right. Gold lately has been really sensitive to yields, specifically. Like yields specifically have been moving gold a lot. Gold is yield sensitive. And what do I mean by that? When more people buy gold, it's usually because yields are not paying out as much. So when people buy gold, yields generally are going down, because if yields go up, more people buy bonds because they have higher yields, right? And again, I'll say it again, bond prices and bond yields inverse each other. And why do they do that? Is because as new bonds are issued that are paying out higher yields, nobody's going to buy the old bonds because they're paying out lower yields than the new bonds, right? So what do they have to do to compensate for it? They have to lower the price of the previous bonds to make the lower yield more attractive still to buy. So with lower prices, people still buy the old bonds that are paying out less yields than the new bonds. Does that make sense? And so with that, we can look at like bond prices here, which is TLT. We can see bond prices are going down a little bit, but they are net green from the inflation report. Maybe they're not net green from the inflation report. They're about flat. Yeah, PCE is out. It might be scrolling at the bottom of the screen. PCE showed up at 0.1% for core June month over month versus 0.2% expected prior, 0.3%. So cooler than expected here. This is a dovish report. Again, I expect yields to maybe continue falling down, and they have. Like, look, yields have continued to fall down here because why do yields continue to fall down? They continue to fall down because GDP was weak, dovish. You know, more justification in a rate cut with weaker economics. So weaker GDP is dovish. Lower inflation is also dovish. Without inflation being as much of a roadblock, you have more of a green light to cut interest rates. Now, I don't think we're cutting still. I still think we have to wait for next month's report, which is when oil popped right back up. So, like, oil popped right back up after June. But it is a situation in this case in which, you know, we do have lower inflation. We do have weaker labor and weaker economics with lower GDP at 1.5%. So the dollar index should fall from lower yields. And if we look at the Dixie, that's precisely what's going on. At least it was the last time I looked at it. Yeah, the Dixie has fallen from lower yields, but it's not super extended on either side at this point in time. So, yeah, that's kind of the story of markets right now. Again, much weaker GDP, 1.5% versus 2.1% expected. This is the first reading of quarter two. Now, this is the advanced estimate, which is essentially the least accurate. And over the next little while, they will bump these numbers. They will change these numbers potentially. Maybe they'll keep them the same, but they might potentially change these numbers in the next couple months, the next 2 months, as we get more data coming out here, is what it is. So that's the story of this today. And yeah, we'll see if we hold.
So that's your story and you're sticking to it, huh?
That's my story and I'm sticking to it, bro.
Right.
Also, remember, we got the Bank of Japan rate decision tonight. They're widely expected to pause, but what they say and the tone that they have is important for markets as well, considering the carry trade dynamic. Cooler inflation is coming from the supply side, so it doesn't matter if everyone is jobless. Yeah, and a lot of people are going to say rate hikes right now wouldn't do anything to the oil-driven inflation anyway. You know, so like it's tricky. It's tricky market right now. You think Meta is going to rebound? I don't know. Does Meta rebound, guys? Yeah, Cospa, there were more attacks overnight. I did see that. But oil is not really reacting heavily here to these attacks. Here's oil. Oil is at 84.20s here. Look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ up to 27,800s. So oil's not really moving as much as you might think it would. Can you make big scrolly letters more green, though? No. No, I will not. I will not. I will not. And again, we did this poll earlier, and listen, guys, I've got to just say, I'm sorry. I made fun of you guys a little bit for betting on a rate cut. I did. Look, Johnny Supreme apologizes when it's justified. And 40% of you voted on a rate cut this year. And I might have poked a little bit of fun at you guys. And I just want to say I'm sorry. Y'all were right. I was wrong. Y'all are smart. I am dumb. Y'all are good looking. I am not attractive. Okay, is what I'm saying here today, guys. That's what I'm saying here today. Rate cut voters. You know, I just want to put it out there. A big, big apology for me. I still think you're wrong, by the way. But I think this data does, you know, give you guys a little bit more validity here with that bet on 40%. 40% of you guys are still crazy here betting on a rate cut. But look, man, if we see weakening in labor, we keep seeing weakening in GDP. Like if quarter two at second revision or first revision comes out next month and it's weaker than this, listen, maybe we got more odds of a rate cut. Yeah, listen. So again, I just want to say I'm wrong sometimes. Yeah, Happy Gilmore. At least you finally admit I'm better looking and smarter than you. Definitely better looking and smarter. Bro, I've been playing chess. I got
Happy Gilmore reference.
Yeah. Listen, I've been playing chess lately, bro. And I told Britt this the other day, dude. And it's the worst feeling. I'm gonna put this out there. It's the worst feeling. You know, my ELO is like 400, so it's not that good. But yesterday I got beat by, and this is my nemesis apparently in chess. This guy beat me. His name was like Roblox Buddy 576. That freaking jerk, bro. He's got to be like 11 here, you know, beating me at chess. How dare that kid, dude? You know, my nemesis now, I guess. But freaking Roblox Buddy 576. That jerk, dude.
Bobby Fischer's just been in hiding, and he came out, and that's his the screen name. That's why you got beat, John. Only the best could beat you.
It hurt even more when I read his username. I'm like this freaking jerk, dude. You know he's been playing since he's like 5, dude. Ah, man, it hurts. It hurts. Will we get a rate cut this year, chat? Let me know. Will we get a rate cut this year?
Yeah, don't play me in chess. I'm one of those guys that accidentally flips the board, you know?
Is your ELO really 1650? That's great, Sam. That's great, dude. You met Sheldon Cooper's son? Yeah, I felt like that, dude. Yeah. But again, do we get a rate cut this year, yes or no, chat? Let me know. 40% of you earlier said yes. Maybe we'll have more people saying it now. Do we get a rate cut this year? No cut? Conflict will go on forever. Yeah, I think the conflict is the roadblock to a rate cut, even if we get weakening labor data in GDP. I think the roadblock is the high impact of oil from the conflict, and that's going to create a situation where I think if Warsh cuts, we're going to get some heat. He'd get some heat from it for sure. He got some heat yesterday for not hiking. But again, I told you guys this, like why I buy, the reason I bought gold ahead of that Fed meeting yesterday is a very specific reason. And I gave you guys my thesis on this yesterday. I'm just going to reiterate it today and show you guys why. But CPI was lower, cooler than expected, the last CPI print. If we did not get cooler than expected CPI for June, and now, again, we got cooler than expected PCE for June. If we did not get those prints, I think we might have raised rates yesterday. But I think with those prints, you know, there is an easing bias, even if they don't admit it, especially with WARS. And I think with those prints, you know, when they got to the Fed meeting, they were going to use those prints to say, hey, look, we got cooler inflation data. You know, a rate hike doesn't make sense right now. Let's wait and see what happens with the conflict. You know, even if that inflation data was outdated, it was for June. In July, oil spiked up again. And so, but because of that, I thought that would stop us from getting a rate hike. I thought markets overpriced the odds of a rate hike at 36%. And I just did not think we were going to hike rates. I thought they were overestimating the likelihood of a rate hike. And so because of that, when we paused, that discrepancy would make gold go up. And that's what happened. Gold ended up ripping up on that report. And so just to kind of understand how you can spot discrepancies in markets and capitalize on it. That was my thesis, and that was right. Now, the big question now is, what do we do the next meeting? Do we raise rates in the next meeting, guys? Right now, it's 60% chance. Yesterday, after the Fed meeting, it was a 75% chance that we would raise rates in the next Fed meeting. And again, I don't know. At this point in time, I'm going to put a big I don't know here because, I think it's still too up in the air. 60-40 odds are pretty freaking split. But I think the next few Fed meetings are going to be really interesting because of the rate hike chances here. I think it depends on whether oil settles. Maybe in the next 6 weeks we'll get stabilization in oil, optimism and harmony in the Middle East. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it could happen. And if that happens, obviously I don't think we're going to raise rates. But yeah. Bond vigilantes are riding in. Economy is strong. Are we due for a president tweet? Maybe, Christopher. I don't know if it's Herbert. I'm going to say A-Bear because I'm a Cajun. Yeah, they're looking at this now. Look at trimmed mean. Meta will probably rebound some at the opening bell. I'm looking at Meta for sure. NASDAQ is still inching higher here. It's at 27,800s right now. So the NASDAQ is fighting its way higher. We're almost at 9 a.m. Here's the 9 a.m. bell. Maybe we'll get some volatility. Gold bounced at the VWAP. Yeah, I mean, look, oil, the NASDAQ just ripped over highs. I don't know if this is news driven or not. Let me see some other charts to see just kind of the hindsight. But yeah, as of now, the September Fed odds are roughly 60-40. A little bit higher, though, 62 almost now. Where's the NASDAQ? I mean, the NASDAQ just broke the pre-market highs here. Look at the NASDAQ start to run. 27.8. Gold kind of stagnant though, but here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ did jump up a little bit. Oracle is going to make Gemini models available to enterprise application customers and will be able to use them for embedded AI within Oracle's Fusion apps and Oracle NetSuite. So maybe Google's going to be going up here on this news. Yeah, Google rebounded a little bit when this news came out. Oil. What's oil doing? Is oil going down and the NASDAQ moving higher? No, not really. Oil's still up. But it's not up as much. It's still net down on the day, but it is starting to rebound here. Sensible take, Thomas. Wishful thinking. All I see Thomas say is LOL. You know he's a millennial. Thomas, I know you're a millennial. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Because I use LOL a lot, and I'm a millennial.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay, wait, look at the NASDAQ just dip a little bit. Hold on real quick. Let's see. Look at oil dump. Okay, so some news just dropped. Dude, if the chat was right about the Trump tweet, that would be absolutely hilarious here. Look at oil dip and the NASDAQ push here, though. Something's going on right now. Hold on, guys. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 a.m. scrum right now. I was about to say, bro. Look at... Oh, wait a minute, though. This is kind of a big jump for 9 a.m. here, though. Fitch expects only a limited near-term impact on large European insurers. Gotta check social media here. What's going on? Look at oil.
Not seen anything.
Yeah, it could just be 9 o'clock. It's definitely possible it's 9 o'clock. Jamie Dimon warns markets are underpricing risk, says he wouldn't buy stocks or treasuries at the current levels.
Yeah, I saw that, but that was a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, but look at oil and look at the NASDAQ here. This is a big move for 9 o'clock. Especially when there's inverse relationship to oil and the NASDAQ here. So that's not a small move in oil, and that's not a small move necessarily in the NASDAQ here. It seems to be geopolitically related, but maybe somebody knows something here. The Bank of England Governor Bailey ended the press conference. Middle Eastern nations urged Iran to stop its campaign. Yeah, we're streaming the Apple numbers. Yeah, we're streaming all that stuff today. But yeah, look at oil dive and the NASDAQ go up here. Again, what is the reason for this? This is geopolitically related, but what's the reason? No truth tweets, nothing. Yeah, but again, I see somebody say Washington Times wrote satellite energy confirms Iran attacks on AWS. But that would make oil go up, not down. Oil is down and the NASDAQ is higher here on something. And there's nothing on the tape that I see here. So I don't see anything on the tape here to drive oil down and the NASDAQ up. Yeah, like just to look at oil real quick, like oil just slumped all of a sudden. And the NASDAQ just ripped. We might get news come out. Maybe somebody knows something. But I see Taiwan Semiconductors develop AI chip packaging tech to counter Intel. There's TSM. It's up a little bit. Intel's moving some from this. Weird. No scary news is good news. Yeah, maybe they got something early on the premium Truth Social tweets. Yeah, so IRNA quoted an Iranian lawmaker saying Iran will never accept U.S.-style ceasefire and will continue to respond to aggressors. Yeah, that could be it. Weird though, man. Yeah, look at the NASDAQ. Still green and oil's still, oil's still red over the last 3 minutes. Could be 9 o'clock, man. I don't know. It seemed like a news-driven move, though, right?
I mean, it looked that way.
Iran warned Cyprus is not to allow attacks from its territory. That could be it, but I don't know. I see somebody posting June core PCE hit 3%. I don't know if it was that low, was it? Yeah, I mean, it's weird to have a counter move like this in oil in the NASDAQ when it's not geopolitically related here. Again, jobless claims is another big story here. They should have been 197 versus 200 expected. So that was actually a little bit more hawkish. But jobless claims low. GDP weak. Yeah, 3.3% is what we showed up, but why is silver dumping though? Buy gold. Middle East nations urge Iran to halt its campaign. I did see that, Max, already, but that dropped about 3 or 4 minutes prior to all this stuff. Again, Chicago Fed prelim unemployment rate 4.13%. Iran warned Cyprus not to allow attacks from its territory. Weird. Yeah, I mean, look, oil dipped, NASDAQ ripped a little bit here. Well, you know, not really any reason why, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes, I guess. Are you bullish on TSM today? They had news. Yeah, they did have news come out. Oil is down sub. Hey, what's up, Pod? Last lack of escalation before the open. Maybe that's it. Yeah, that's possible. Again, oil's still falling here, though. Look. Still dipping down. Some it's at 83.90s right now for oil, so oil's still falling. Good old oil dip and rip, yeah. Oil falling, NASDAQ higher here today, guys. VIX is predicting a green day for indices. I just worry about tomorrow for oil for Friday. Yeah. I mean, that's reasonable, I think. Yeah. But all right, now we go into Microsoft and Meta. Does Meta rebound after the opening bell, guys? We'll see. Jobs relatively healthy. Oil still falling. Yeah, jobs were okay, but GDP was weak. Man, look at oil dip. Still falling. 83.80s for WTI crude here. Light crude futures not dropping much. I mean, they're dropping a little bit. Could be 9 o'clock. I mean, look at these candles for oil. They're moving down now, though. Hey, look, here's oil. So we've been dropping while the NASDAQ moves up, but look at these candles, yeah. Oil continues to break down. Look at this. It's got to be geopolitics related, no? Yeah, look at this. For oil. Something's going on here.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, so Cyprus foreign minister says in contact with the UK that they will ensure that foreign bases located in Cyprus will not be used against any country, including Iran. I don't think that's it, though. Look at oil. Could be an insider trade, really. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Max. I didn't even see your comment. Exactly, Max. That's the only thing that makes sense. You know, like these are some of the largest candles we've seen today in oil. But oil's dumping down right now, guys. Look at WTI crude here. It's still falling. 83.40 a barrel. Somebody knows something.
They just don't want to tell you, John.
Look at it. I mean, somebody knows something here. Again, Cyprus foreign minister says in contact with the UK that they will ensure foreign bases located in Cyprus aren't going to be used against any country. Is the NASDAQ still pushing? No, not really. Even the NASDAQ is coming down with oil a little bit recently in the last 2 minutes here. So, and I can see the grifters show up. The grifters are like, hey, what's going on in oil? I don't know. There's not really any news on the tape. There's not really any big news that would cause an oil dip like this with high volume. Again, we got Cyprus foreign minister says they're in contact with the UK. They're not going to let forward bases located in Cyprus will not be used against any country. But oil continues to fall down some. Look at it. Oil going down to 83s right now. Yeah, where are yields? Well, with the oil dropping, yields should be falling too, no? Yeah, yields are going down. I mean, look at it. Yields start to move some here too, but very strange. Very strange. Usually this is some type of catalyst, but I don't see anything right now.
No, I mean,
Iran warned Cyprus will not allow attacks from its territory. Very strange. Don't know if it's fake breaking news, but somebody tweeted the Strait is open. Who tweeted it though, David? I'm checking on that now. That could be it. But look at yields fall. And where did they tweet it? Okay, Iran just announced that the Strait of Iran is fully open and ready for full passage. Thank you. Is it a tweet? It could be maybe the premium tweet users getting into stuff here. But I told you guys we would react immediately. I can't tell if this is nonsense, though. I don't see anything about this here, so it's hard to tell whether this is real or not. It could be a false tweet moving things. Unless we're now not going to get access to the tweet. Which I don't know how that's going to work. But I do see what you're talking about here. 6 minutes ago, Read Wire said, quote, breaking, the Strait of Hormuz is open. President Trump wins. Iran has just announced that the strait is fully open and ready for full passage. Gas about to plummet. Checkmate. It could be fake, though. That's the only thing I see here, and it's hard to tell. But yields have fallen down substantially here, and so has oil prices. But again, if this is fake news, we might see a run back up in oil prices here. But very strange. Very strange. And no news on the tape with these big swings in oil. Yeah, it could be fake. That was 14 hours ago, yeah. Yeah, I see that, David. Hey, thank you for the donation, though, my friend. Thank you, brother. John, have to buy premium tweets, maybe, dude. But yields are falling. Look at oil, though, guys. Oil is continuing to fall here. So look at oil. Oil has continued to fall down here. Look at this. Very, very strange. Very, very strange. No new tweets that I'm showing here as well. Last tweet was 14 hours ago.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, either it's fake news. All right, Britt. Either it's fake news or somebody knows something. But again, there's no news on the tape, which is very odd. Very odd for a move like this. Oil jumped all the way back down to the lows, too. Weird. Yields have fallen down simultaneously also. Look at yields. So here's 2-year treasury yields. They've fallen down to 4.24% right now. Buy or sell oil right now? What do you guys think? Yeah, I would assume somebody knows something here based off of this. Yeah, I'm checking up on Gore, but buy oil, sell oil. Yeah, we're kind of split down the middle in terms of the chat. Yeah, look at oil continuing to fall here, though, guys. Look. Oil's still moving in a big, substantial way here. Look at oil, guys. Man. Still falling here. Very, very strange. Look at this volatility here. I don't know any other explanation besides either insider trade or just nonsense that is getting shared on social media here. BP to cut 700 non-frontline jobs in production. Cuts equal 8% of non-frontline production OPS jobs. Very strange, though. Oil fell multiple dollars per barrel on what it seems to be no news. Still falling here, too, heading into the opening, but we have 15 minutes until the open here with no real data here, guys. U.S. strikes a rod per Bloomberg 7 minutes ago. Yeah, but that would make oil rise, not fall like this. Like, oil wouldn't fall like this on strike news. Jim Cramer just said when margin goes down big like now, you have to buy what was blown out. It's definitely not a response to GDP data. That dropped an hour ago, basically. Response of weak GDP? No, that's not it. BP is reportedly planning to cut again 700 non-frontline jobs. Upstream Online reporting. But this drop in oil is very interesting.
We still haven't figured out what it was?
No, I might buy oil right now. It's a risky buy because the risk is some news comes out. But if I have a stop, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna set a stop loss down here.
Yeah. Also, I'm back.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, Kaz? Yeah, yields are also falling as well, but yields are going to be falling with oil, right? Like as oil decreases, inflation fears dissipate and yields fall, right? From lower interest rate sentiment, from cheaper oil and lower inflation potential. So yields falling is just the natural consequence of oil dipping. But again, this is odd. Again, I cover all the big news, and usually there's a reason for stuff like this, but there's nothing here. Which means it's either an overreaction from not true tweets, or somebody knows something.
Still not seeing anything.
No, there's nothing on the tape here. Very odd. Very interesting. Really. Yeah, look. So we're starting to rebound back up a little bit here, honestly. Look, we're popping back up here some. I mean, I bought oil here. I think that's probably the move. Again, it's a risky bet. I better have a stop loss set. And yes, that was a freestyle, you know. But it's a risky bet because, you know, we don't really have any reason for this, which means that if it is insider trading and somebody knows something's about to drop, we get that type of catalyst, this trade will go bye-bye. But as of now, I'm buying oil here. Just weird. Just very strange. We got 13 minutes until the opening bell, but we don't really have any reason for this big negative drop in oil. What's the NASDAQ doing here? NASDAQ's not really reacting though, but cheap. Look at the big pullbacks in oil all of a sudden. What was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 20 minutes ago, big decreases in oil. The NASDAQ originally jumped up simultaneously as well, but again, it's settled a little bit now. Very weird here, heading into the opening bell. This is almost always news driven. Donald's trading. Yeah, it could be liquidity trap. I mean, we're up essentially hundreds on the day now, though. But as long as we don't get some monster candle here. All right, I'm gonna take half of this off. U.S. White House NEC Director Hassett says, of course, when asked if he has confidence in the Fed chairman. Yeah, it could just be like sometimes you get manipulation in terms of like tweets, chat, and that could be what this is. Also, guys, Apex did extend their legacy sale. So if you haven't checked out Apex right now, if you want cheap accounts, when you're learning to day trade, listen, most day traders lose money. So most day traders are going to lose. Doesn't matter what course you take, who you follow, who your mentor is. You're probably going to lose day trading. So if you fund thousands of dollars into your account, you're probably going to lose it. I lost my first account. It's kind of a rite of passage almost in trading. Limit your risk. You could paper trade or you can try these prop firms. It's a good middle ground of pressure to trade, of learning. Apex right now, you can get the cheapest account for $19.90. You can buy a 5-pack bundle for $85. They also have their no activation fee 100K account right now. It's $59 if you use my coupon code. 100K eval, $59. Some of the cheapest in the game, and it's a great way to help support the channel. And most day traders lose money, chat. This is just objectively true. Most day traders are going to lose. If you want to check them out, I'll put the link up and I'll pin it to the top of the chat. It's a great way to help support the channel here. And if you use my code, it's a good way to help keep our content free. Everything we do here is free. We kind of break down the pulse of markets every day. And we try to do a good job, and I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the lurkers here, guys. The lurkers, you know, you might not chat, you might not comment, but we know you're here. You're here in spirit. You're here in heart, and we appreciate it. But again, you can use my coupon code BGT on Lucid as well. Lucid has their new daily plan. A lot of good stuff from Lucid. Direct-to-funded accounts. Tradeify also has pretty good direct-to-funded accounts. Again, BGT will work on that as well. But yeah, well, let's see what we get today, guys. Good luck.
It's a good deal. Take advantage of it, you know.
Yeah. Morning, guys. I have joined thee to lurk. Remember, John, how it was during the SpaceX IPO? Yeah, I mean, lurker here showing myself. I feel so vulnerable. Everybody get him. Get him right now. You know? Get the geek. Let's get him. No, I'm just joking. I appreciate you, geek. Lurker's gonna lurk. All right, oil is bouncing back up here, chat. And so, we are green. I assume we might. I'm going to move my stop up here a little bit.
Also, I got to say, if you joined to lurk, you're off to a bad start.
That's all right. You could lurk. First time.
No. No, I mean, when you join to lurk, and never mind. When you comment immediately, you're off to a bad lurking start, is what I meant.
Oh, yeah. You're not lurking well if your first thing to do is chat, you know?
Yeah. But we appreciate you nonetheless, you know.
Lurker in the house. What's up, Get Busy Drizzy? I'm gonna go ahead and cut this, guys. I think we bounced back enough to justify the cut. We're up hundreds on the day, which is good. We got a nice little cushion in the opening bell. It's been a great week, honestly, dude. We're running 66% this week. Here's my stats this week, guys. Small little base hits get you there, though. Like, look at this. Here's my stats. So we'll take it. Green is good. Green is good. Running 65% accuracy today. The volatility has been easy to make money in. Do you guys still think oil's a buy here? Or what do you guys think? Not a futures trader, so I chop in everybody to get an idea of how you work your trades. Wish you had a video explaining futures trading. Until then, it's options for me. Yeah, I mean, look, futures are more similar to day trading stocks directly. Let me get rid of my stop loss here. But futures, futures expire quarterly. So you got to roll over your contracts, but you can trade indices and commodities in futures, right? Like, it's day trading. Most of the futures market is day trading indices and commodities. So it's day trading oil, gold, silver, natural gas, indexes like the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell. So you can trade those directly, and they have the most volume as well. Why are we flattening on the NASDAQ? I don't know. Yeah, the NASDAQ's kind of sideways here. The market on open data releases in 2.5 minutes here, guys. So let's see what that print shows. But the market on open data is very soon. It's in 2.5 minutes. John, I trade options. Would they ever give traders the capability to trade regular options during futures hours? Maybe one day they might. But futures are good because they're open, essentially, they're open 23 hours a day for futures. They take an hour break in the evening. But aside from that, you can trade them whenever, right? And that's why I look at the NASDAQ. Like, if you look at the actual index of the NDX, right? The NDX of the NASDAQ 100, it's closed right now. But futures pricing happens. So here's so you can kind of see what markets are doing by watching futures specifically before the actual indexes, which are not directly tradable. Like, I can't buy the NASDAQ outside of futures or options or whatever. I can't buy the S&P outside of ETFs or futures or options, right? So futures give you more access to markets during more hours of the day as well. There's pros and cons though. And you can see the S&P 500 futures right here. They're up to 7,400s. Man, what a weird thing for oil here. Oil just made a huge turnaround. Dropped multiple dollars a barrel for no known reason here. Yields fell simultaneously as well. PCE data is out. Where's gold? Gold did just jump up here too. Weird. I mean, gold's rate sensitive, so with oil going down, gold should move up on lower yields in bonds and less people buying bonds because of lower yields and more people buying gold. But very weird, very strange. Is the low GDP good news for us long term, or is it a dead cat bounce? Low GDP is better if you want rate cuts, worse if you fear inflation, is what low GDP is. Or no, I'm sorry. It's the opposite. No, wait, is it? Okay. Low GDP is good if you want rate cuts. It's good if you want lower yields.
White House senior advisor Hassett says Warsh will do what the data says he should do. The markets may need a couple more prints like today's. And when asked if Warsh is hawk or dove, he says he's a realist.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. All right, here's the market on open data. S&P is moving up on the MOO data. 7,400s on the S&P. NASDAQ is moving up a little bit as well on this market on open data movement here. So there's the MOO. I mean, I'm out of my trades. I mean, I'm green already on the day. I've built up hundreds in profit. So I'm out. I mean, I'm not trading the market on open data or the opening bell. I gotta wait. But yeah, here's the market on open data. Again, NASDAQ, S&P both moved up simultaneously on the MOO data. Gold is already up. Oil is still down. But we're kind of reversing some from that movement here. Here's the NASDAQ and here's the S&P.
Oh, he also says he's very bullish on Fed policy going in the proper direction.
Yeah. Yeah, so we originally went up on the MOO data. We got 4 minutes left until the open here, but now we're starting to retrace some of that movement. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting out. If I see profit, I take profit, you know? Nvidia taking a dive, is it really? Again, watch Meta. Yeah, Nvidia has fallen, so that's probably what's pulling down the Nasdaq. Here's Meta. Watch Meta here. Meta, bad earnings report, down to 530s here for the opening bell. So this is one of the things you probably want to watch at the open. Nvidia is taking a dive here. Let me check breaking news real quick. Again, TSMC develops new AI chip packaging tech to challenge Intel. That came out much earlier, though. Hasid asks if Warsh is Hawk or Dove, says he's a realist. Yeah, we had multiple dissenters. 3 specifically. Lori Logan, Beth Hammock, and Kashkari all dissented in favor of a rate hike yesterday. 3-9 was the vote. Alright, here's MU. Yeah, memory still bouncing back. Still down a freaking crazy amount, but look at MU starting to pop back up. I think the big story, though, at the opening bell is Microsoft and Meta here. Microsoft is really what kind of saved the market a little bit. More heavily weighted than Meta, I believe. And Microsoft just hit 431s here, so Microsoft's still heading up. But let's see what happens now, heading into the open. Oil still bouncing back. 2.5 minutes here, chat. Memory ripping. Follow the smart money, the bond market. Yeah, bond market, if you understand the bond market, you understand markets for the most part. It's the bond market that's causing the push for a rate hike. Is that correct? I mean, it's a little bit of everything. The bond market has been up. Look at Microsoft. Hold on real quick, though, guys. I was going to talk about this because I love talking about the bond market. But look at Microsoft rip. This seems catalyst driven here. Look at Microsoft, man. Whoa. Hassett ended his interview. He said, I don't see markets in bubble territory due to AI. What is going on with Microsoft, though? 436 is ahead of the opening bell here. Could be positioning ahead of the open. I don't see anything. But memory ripping, Microsoft ripping. Wow. Again, Microsoft came out with news earlier. They're considering open source AI models according to the Nikkei. I don't see any news. Very weird market today, bro. We've had a lot of big movement with not any catalyst here. This seems to be catalyst driven, though. I don't see anything regarding Microsoft yet, though. Here we go. Here's the opening bell in 4 minutes. Look at Nvidia fall, Microsoft rip, Meta dumping down here. The opening bell is very interesting later here, guys. ARM is ripping right now. Yeah, ARM has been moving since their earnings. All right, guys, here we go. Opening bells in 30 seconds here. A very weird market. A very strange market. Let's see what we get today. Y'all be careful. Very strange market into the opening bell. There's Meta drop, Microsoft ripping. We have 20 seconds left, essentially. Huge range overnight. No known catalyst here. All right, here's the opening bell in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here's the bell. All right, guys, let's see what we get here today. Meta, so far, has had a green candle at the opening bell. Microsoft is also interesting right now, but look at Meta. Microsoft has ripped before the opening bell. These are kind of maybe software versus AI, but let's see if this holds here. A lot of people were arguing we should buy Meta. I'm sorry about the bell being loud. But, so far, Microsoft has pulled back a little bit since the open, and Meta is pushed up here. We got to watch the Nasdaq. Nvidia is still breaking down. It's at 192s again. Intel is ripping up as well. The Nasdaq itself is starting to go red, basically mostly on Nvidia dropping right now. But look at Microsoft and Meta here. Chat. Meta rebounding some from the big drop it put from earnings. Bad margins. We're up to 530s here. Look at this move. 534s on Meta. NASDAQ in a range, though, here. Again, NVIDIA's fallen a decent amount since the opening bell. If we look at NVIDIA right here. So NVIDIA helping drag. If NVIDIA starts to trend higher, maybe we'll get some movement. Or if Meta and the others start to trend lower, maybe we'll get some downward movement. Yeah, sorry about the bell, guys. My bad. Again, Microsoft shares are up 12% on the day. I'm tempted to short this, to be honest, but I think it's risky still. Microsoft's still up some from the 3 minutes prior to the opening bell here. Could be the market on open data moving things, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to follow my rules here. We need 2 minutes now. Oil going down. Yeah, oil's been dropping for some unknown reason. Not really any news release for oil that would cause the big drops that it put in at the opening bell. I should have shorted. Microsoft's still rising here, though. And NVIDIA's still fading. Very tight opening range today. Microsoft still started to push, though. So we're kind of mixed. NVIDIA dropping, Microsoft pushing. Meta turning back around here. Meta starts to crack these lows. We could get scary, too. 518 is the lows from yesterday. For Meta, look at Microsoft, guys. Microsoft up to 445, continuing its run from earnings. NVIDIA's falling down, though, so the NASDAQ is basically flat right now. I don't think everything is news-driven, Java, but we get a big reaction in oil like we got earlier. That seemed news-driven, no? Most people here thought it was news-driven. Did you think it was news-driven in oil, guys, when we had those big drops, before the bell? It seemed like it was. Again, I don't think everything is news-driven, but when you see a big candle, 3-4 big candles, and a multiple dollar per barrel drop in oil prices simultaneously, or not simultaneously, but over a very small period of time, it's usually catalyst-driven. Not always, though.
I thought it was, but
Yeah,
I can never find anything.
Yeah, no, it seemed like it was. NASDAQ's starting to dip here, guys, so NASDAQ's starting to fall back down some. Google's falling. Apple's falling. NASDAQ finally breaking out of that shorter opening range here. I still can't trade yet. I gotta wait a little while, but yeah, it could be insider trading. What's up, Fred? Retail trades the news and rumors. Yeah, we don't really have much to trade right now. I gotta wait until some of these ranges break. NVIDIA's starting to bounce back, though. NVIDIA is red to green. I'll probably buy. But I gotta wait some here, too. Buying NVIDIA calls. Bloom? You talking about Bloom Energy, Fibby? You talk about Bloomberg. Talk about BE, maybe? Yeah, BE's running up, dude. I'm guessing you're talking about BE. Alright, so oil's still continuing its rebound. Maybe I should have held it, but it's tough to hold through some of this stuff. NASDAQ's starting to head back up. I'm still tempted to short this, though. Where's Microsoft? Microsoft's running here. Very flat range, though, at the opening bell today. Not a lot. I gotta wait for this range to maybe break. Stocks will rebound, Meta rebounding. Yeah. NVIDIA is still close to the opening bell low, though. Microsoft is really probably what's driving this. Meta started to bounce back up, too. So, look at Microsoft, 448s. All right, we just broke highs at the NASDAQ, highs of the day. NASDAQ just cracked highs on Microsoft strength. Here's the NQ. See if it holds, though. 27,900s here. Yields have fallen, though, which is interesting. Where's MU in memory today? They're rising. So MU back over 800. SanDisk back over 1180s. SK Hynix is probably green too, yeah. So memory bouncing back. Okay, I'm just gonna ban this guy because this guy keeps saying the same thing, even though he was banned yesterday. Good day to you, sir. All right, Microsoft, MU, Meta. Meta's starting to turn back down though. Nvidia's still red since the open. Yeah, I mean, I can't really trade any of this. We're 6 minutes into the day, but this is not really easily tradable, to be honest. It's kind of boring. What's gold doing? Gold's up. Gold just broke highs. Now I just need Oracle to pull a Microsoft. Yeah, but Microsoft is kind of software as well. So like, and it had good earnings. We'll see what Oracle does, but. All right, Nasdaq started to turn down a little bit here. Not really easily tradable today. I don't know what to do. Gold is popping up though. The Nasdaq is starting to slump back down. Meta's starting to move down too. Nvidia just cracked opening lows. All right, let's try to trade some of this, but I'm tempted to short based off of what Nvidia's doing. But it's not easy right now. Depends on what we think Microsoft is going to do. That's leading this. Microsoft's still pretty close to highs. Which I'm in Microsoft right now. I love to see it, but I'm going to short this. Small trade. Definitely not risk-free. Probably the worst place to trade this too, though. Yeah, I'm going to get out here. I'm diddling in the middle too much. Although Microsoft is starting to pull back some here. Nvidia starting to rise. Meta, we're very split. Like some things that counter each other are going up and some things that counter each other are going down. See if Microsoft, the pullback in this continues. But look at Bloom Energy, guys. Almost $200 a share. CL futures are kind of stagnating here, though. It's all going to depend on whether the Microsoft continuation happens. This is what I think here. Which it kind of looks like. It's back up to 447s for Microsoft. 450, kind of a roadblock here. Alright, I did jump at a short here on the NQ. We'll see if it holds. I jumped back in short. But it's very small right now. I don't trust the market enough to go either direction here. I'll hold it break even on the rest. Which with the ranges, it might happen quick. We're going to get out right there. We're basically flat since the open now. I'm trying to see what Nvidia is going to do. A lot of this is going to depend on whether Microsoft continues to run back up, what Meta does, what Nvidia does. Apple all day, snooze until next week. I gotta wait to get out of this high volume node, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'll show you my P&L this week. I showed it earlier. This is my P&L for this week. We're up about 1,600 this week or so. We've gotten a lot of good trades. It's been really easy to trade. I am up in this account so far total. $3,753.58. This price action is terrible. I don't know what to do with this. Yeah, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, Rest in Peace to the Man, is a great book. Alright, here. Microsoft, again, people are watching this paired with Meta here. So many flat things. Keep that to OnlyFans. Show it off your P&L. Dude, somebody asked me, John Turg. I feel attacked. I feel attacked here. You show a good P&L, they're like, dude, why are you showing that P&L? You don't show the P&L, they're like, dude, why aren't you showing your P&L? Alright, NASDAQ getting up there to close to highs. Let's see if it bounces back. Yeah, NBIS, guys. Which we find out NVIDIA is now holding a chunk of this company. It's up to 181s right now. NASDAQ just ripped. Look at NBIS. NASDAQ just popping up here. Alright, so we do have a green candle here on the NASDAQ. Breaking highs of the day, I believe this is highs of the day. Microsoft getting back up there. Memory play still bouncing back is also what's driving this. MU up to 812s, 811s. NASDAQ still up there. We're up to 27,940s. Let's watch 28K on the NQ. So let's watch 28,000. But it all is going to be relative to whether Microsoft can get up there. Yeah, I don't know what... I mean, I can't really trade this. We're up so much, I don't like a long. We're breaking high, so I don't like a short, to be honest here. At some point, this is going to turn into a squeeze. There was way too many people short before. Alright, NASDAQ rising more here. Still pushing up. Again, this is mostly memory related. MU, SNDK, SanDisk, SK Hynix, all going up since the open. At the very least, though, look at the NASDAQ rip up a little bit here. Look, we're up to highs of the day. 28,000, guys, is right here. So 28K, big psychological level, is right here. Let's see if that holds its resistance here. Yeah, I saw the Japanese yen. We're up to almost 28,000. Microsoft getting close to the highs of the day again. NVIDIA is still battling the VWAP here. Meta's starting to come back up as well here, but let's watch 28K. Big psychological level. Again, check out Apex, guys. If you haven't already, use my code BGT on Apex, Lucid, and more. We appreciate it. Still rising. We just tapped 28,000 on the NASDAQ here.
Yeah, take advantage of it, guys. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a better deal.
Yeah, NASDAQ 28K. Join our Discord as well. It's completely free. You can see Nightbot posted it. We just broke over 28K here. Over 28,000 on the NASDAQ. See if we can grab liquidity up here, though. But, I mean, I don't know. NVIDIA's starting to try to get over the VWAP. Meta's starting to bounce back. Microsoft's still close to highs. And so we got some reason to be optimistic on the upside here. But, again, I don't want to get trapped. NASDAQ rutted, though. Oil's starting to bounce back a little bit as well. Yeah, Nebius is freaking going nuts right now, dude. Nebius is up to almost 190. Yeah, look at the US dollar, Japanese yen here. Hey, look, here's US dollar, Japanese yen. Look at this move here, chat. Look at that. Nasdaq still rising here. Nvidia over VWAP now. Microsoft still pushing higher here. Meta's starting to go up a little bit. But we're over 28K and the Nasdaq starting to rise back. Yeah, memory bouncing back is one of the stories too. MU up to 816s, 817, SanDisk up to 1200 again. SK Hynix is moving up, although a little bit slower. Nvidia back up to the 200 EMA right here though. Let's see if it holds. Long or short here, guys? What do you think? Yeah, Nvidia's trying to pull a red to green move. It's at 193s right now. Let's pull back to 28K and see what happens here. I'm tempted to buy a 28K dip here, but it feels a little greedy. Big psychological level though. If MU and memory keep running back up, it could help benefit it, but feels just a tad bit greedy. No, I mean, I'm already up hundreds on the day, so I have that cushion that I look for to make larger profit on the day, but man.
Well, why take the chance of burning it if you don't have to?
Yeah, for sure. Buy or sell here, guys. What do you think? Buy or sell? What goes up fast comes down faster. Sometimes we keep going up though. Memory's still breaking highs here. SK Hynix just broke highs of the day at 140.50s, 140.60s now. MU at 818s, almost getting up to 820s here. So memory and Microsoft. Microsoft just broke highs of the day as well, 451.50s. Full moon. Well, let's pull something. I think until the weekend. I wanted 28K. We got up to 28.10, so I didn't quite get my entry. But that's alright. I mean, tech's just rebounding some. Memory plays have been a dumpster fire, and so they're starting to bounce back a little bit is what is really driving this move. Nvidia bouncing back a little bit as well. Yeah, Bloom Energy proxy. Crazy strength up to 207s right now. Last time I checked, it was at 200s. So Bloom Energy flying. SX still testing that 2850 high. Nasdaq just broke highs again. 2865s. Yeah, I mean, maybe people are getting loaded into what? Amazon and Apple today. Amazon moving up. Apple's still moving down though, but Apple's been breaking highs, so that's alright. MU just broke highs again, got up to 825s. Memory bouncing back here. I mean, we're back so far. Not back to where we were though. We still got a long road up for memory, but Nasdaq has had a green open. I think people are not used to a green open in the Nasdaq lately, especially over the last few weeks. Yeah, SanDisk MU. Microsoft started to dip down from 450s. Gotta watch the video too. Still the most heavily weighted stock in markets. SpaceX as well, guys, is up to 117s, almost 118s. Still pushing up though here. I don't know if I want to bet on memories rise though. Look at MU today here. Look at MU. 820s. So I don't know if I want to bet against that, to be honest. Again, 750 billion added to the U.S. stock market at the open I see so far. Very green open right now. See if memory starts to dip. I did jump in a short here. I think after a certain point it just becomes a little bit more like favorable with odds, but I'll add to it if it starts to head down more. Very small base hits today, but MU still rises though. Oh man, Nvidia's starting to move up too. I don't like this. I'll take a little bit off here. I'm scared we're gonna get a quick bounce though, but maybe not. All right, we're gonna take that off here just now. We made about $100 and something in about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I think that's nice. We're up 300 or so on the day. I want to get in and out quickly though. At a certain point, we might have extension, but we're starting to see a dip in the NASDAQ now. Do you buy or sell this dip? What do you guys think? Apple up to 333. Is this bouncing back here? MU, SanDisk, SK Hynix pulling back slightly. Not a huge pullback. SK Hynix is the largest one. Waiting for the bulls to run out of steam. NASDAQ just ran up to the weekly 21. Yeah, it's definitely a weird market, Giorgio. Buy, sell, scout, buy at once, buy. It seems like a nice dip, to be honest here. But that's betting that memory keeps pushing up, and it's already up at 825s this morning, so. But I don't hate a dip buy, to be honest, right here. Here's a short-term moving average right here as well. Yeah, maybe I should have bought the dip. Should have bought the dip. We did a poll earlier. Is gold a buy or sell today? 62% said it's a buy. Let's take a look at gold right now. Gold's still heading up too. Look. Yields are probably falling. I thought we didn't get as big of a reaction as I thought with yields. But maybe we're seeing kind of a delayed one. Could just be due to the lower oil prices pullback that we saw earlier. Yeah, yields are down from the last time I looked at them too. Since the opening bell, actually yields are up, but they've been down with oil prices. Gold continuing to rise here, though. I'm not usually going to buy off the 9, not unless I have more confluence of, like, a good... Not unless I have more confluence around... signals and like good things happening on the buy side. I'm not going to buy purely based off of the 9. We're recovering half his shorts. He's up 35%. He might be. Still rip it up though, and market's about to test highs here. Yeah, look at MU and NASDAQ. MU still up to almost 840s. The question right now is, do memory stocks continue to rebound? That's the big question mark here. And I don't know, let me know. Shh, don't mention Nike. Mention Microsoft, bro, not Nike. Microsoft are really green on Nike, not so much. I'm still green on the day. Hey, thank you, Preston. Dollar index dumping good. Okay, that means yields are probably falling. NASDAQ about to get back up there. MU almost at 840s here. NASDAQ at highs of the day. I think SanDisk is a good chance of hitting resistance at 12 to 1350. I'm sitting Nike long term though. NASDAQ just cracked highs of the day again. We're at 28 130s. NBIS, freaking wild. Bloom Energy as well. NBIS at 193s right now. Look at this. Crazy. Again, the big story though is Bibery, I think, rebounding some. And does it stop? Looks like we could grab some liquidity right here, but I don't trust it. I'm dabbling in a short right now. And let's see how this goes. Might add more to this. This is what it does though. Nvidia's starting to turn the other way, but Microsoft's still getting close to highs, so we're kind of split in direction here. Burry's still probably pretty happy, Steve.
Sorry about that, Tiny, but don't feel bad. Honestly, I'm still working my eval, and I'm just taking like 40 or 50 bucks at a time.
All right, I'm short. A little bit better. Take a little bit off here. I'd love to break 4K in profit on this account today. We got about $120 left. Memory's still dipping down some. Nvidia looks a little bearish here though. We've scaled out of most of this. We'll hold the rest flat though. Yeah, I'm gonna get out flat right here, even though I might have got faked out on that last little pop. We're up about 350 though. Sorry to hear that, Tiny. My PayPal position is really nicely green, to be honest here. We got in PayPal at 44s. It's at 57s right now. I don't know what it's doing today, but yeah, it's down. I mean, but we're still very green on it. So NASDAQ, we got out of that short just in time here too. Look at the NASDAQ jump. We just broke highs again.
Yeah, no problem. You know, I can empathize and sympathize, I guess.
Yeah, memory's still, you know, trying to move here. SanDisk just broke highs again, back up to 1230s. The swings in these memory stocks are crazy. So you're using somebody else's money to make money? Kind of, yeah. Nvidia just hit 195s. Man, Nvidia. Yeah, I said Nvidia was bearish. I was looking at the Apple chart actually, just now realizing it, because Nvidia's been bouncing back. Shorting the NASDAQ now. Maybe the bears can come back strong in the afternoon. ServiceNow, Microsoft shares up 15%, on track for the biggest percentage gain since 08 for Microsoft. It makes me want to buy. But we don't have a lot of meat on the move, but it does make me want to buy. Maybe we'll look for a big enough pullback to buy. Bears got no chance today, returning. We're definitely green, and the more we push up, the bigger milestones might potentially break. Nvidia's still pushing up here as well. Look at Nvidia. And the swings that we're seeing in markets are very interesting right now. I mean, we're in the midst of earnings season, but still. Microsoft up to 450s.
Maybe I should have bought just now where I wanted to. Alright, there's 10 a.m. Again, we've pushed up a lot though here. Nasdaq's still trying to rip up here, look. Just broke highs of the day again. Still ripping up here. Mostly thanks to memory plays here, guys. The memory plays. Alright, I did jump in another short here. We've been trying to short this top, but we're going to start to scale out of this now. We're almost to a 4K in gains. We need $3. There we go. We're over it. Let's take a little bit more off here. Let the rest work a little bit longer now. Sir, but I'll check it out. Alright, so we are dropping some more here. Whoa, my charts just froze. Oh, no, they didn't. Okay, good. I'm going to cut it right here just because now I'm over 4K in profit in this thing. We're up 500 on the day again. Dude, this week has been great, bro. Almost a $2,000 week. Here's the P&L this week. We sized up with a cushion and took larger risks. Now we're up about 5 on the day. Excuse me.
You're excused.
Oh, thank you, Britt. I appreciate that. Yeah, futures are great, man. It's a good way to learn how to trade. Most day traders lose money. But it really is like a decent way to learn how to trade. Again, Lucid's great because Lucid has end-of-day drawdown options, and so does Apex. But Lucid EOD options, like again, the reason you want EOD is because there's a drawdown in these prop accounts, right? So let's say it's $2,000. If you build up a cushion of $500 and it's EOD, that means your drawdown expands by $500. If it's intraday trail, it follows you up no matter what. Your drawdown will always be 2K, right? So what end-of-day drawdown options allow you to do, end-of-day drawdowns, is build up a cushion and take larger risk each day, and that allows you to take larger payouts from the prop firms. Again, Apex has end-of-day drawdown options now as well. So if you want to check out Apex, but Lucid is also pretty good at it. So here's Lucid. If you want to check out Lucid, here's the link. You can also check out Apex and use code BGT. You can get the max discount on whatever. Maybe I should have held that short a little bit longer. Here's the link. Check it out. Again, we'll pin it to the chat for Lucid. They have their new daily plan, which allows daily withdrawals and no consistency rule and funded. I think it might have an intraday trail though on the new daily accounts, but it gives you a cheaper option with daily payouts and no consistency rule, which is nice. All right, we're starting to dip a little bit in the NASDAQ, but let's watch MU and memory plays. SanDisk. Microsoft started to pull back some. Nvidia's still up there though. Microsoft dipping down a little bit now. What did Meta do? I haven't watched Meta as closely because it's been basically flat since the bell. Oil moving back up. And if you watch economics and geopolitics, futures are good because you can kind of trade some of the stuff going on, right? You can find discrepancies and stuff. Again, my Fed decision yesterday, that trading plan worked really well. I'm looking at oil. I don't see any oil news per se. The only news I see is Russia is extending its diesel and gas export bans by a month. We're at 84s right now, chat. Amazon creeping up a little bit ahead of earnings. Yeah. Oil did just jump a little bit though, but Nasdaq's starting to fade some too. The symbol for single stock futures, there's not a lot of volume. You can look at S, you put /S, and then whatever the symbol is. So you can look at like NVIDIA single stock futures, you can look at like Google single stock futures. The volume's too low to really trade though. MU and SanDisk pulling back a little bit from these highs they put in earlier. All right, so we're starting to see some pullbacks here. I almost want to buy this though, but I do see oil spiking simultaneously, so that's what I'm nervous about. Give it a second. Take some more risk here. We got a big cushion on the day. I think if there's a day to take more risk, it's today. We just took 5 contracts here long on this dip. Not going to give too much back on the day. Hopefully we bounce, but I'll cut it pretty quick if we start to drop. Looks like it's still going to drop more though, to be honest. Yeah. We just took most of it off. We lost like $100. I'm holding 1 contract left just to see if we do pop back. Maybe I could add back to it. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get out there. Yeah, I mean, Dark Edge, listen, dude. You're only showing up, you know, when we lose a trade. You've been pretty quiet the whole time we built, the whole time we built up all the profit on the day. We're still up a lot on the day. So to show up only when I lose and be like, oh, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little suspect, I gotta say.
Well, I mean, I think, look, anytime you're too weighted to one side, you know, nothing's absolute. I think yesterday you said we were dropping at the opening bell, too. I mean, if the bearishness continues here, it seems like memory might bounce back still, though, but let's see. We'll give it a second. You think this is a bull trap? I don't know. I think it really depends on memory today. I think memory is the big story. It's bouncing back some. I don't know if it's necessarily good still. I think there's still a lot of risks here. But sorry, I was talking to somebody else. Yeah, I might buy this, but I don't know. I don't know buy or sell NASDAQ here. It seems like a pullback after strength, so I'm hesitant to short it. I don't know if I want to buy it necessarily either here, though. It's a little bit back and forth, to be honest. Hey, happy Thursday, BT. I mean, we made big moves to the upside, and now we're pulling back some. And a pullback is probably somewhat reasonable here, but I think right here we're kind of in the middle. All right, I went ahead and bought this dip. I'm going to take profit up here at the 200 EMA. See if the bounce continues. We've already locked in some. Let's see if it keeps up. The buy thesis this whole time was right. I just got scared out of that first one. Short term. Doesn't mean we're not going to keep going down. But we did do a little bit of a recovery bounce even if we keep going down. So far so good here. We can hold this one too. It's just a small trade. We're already up 500 on the day now. I want to see if it bounces back more and memory starts to continue to climb back up. There you go. All right, I'm going to take the rest off right there, I think. Yeah, we're up over 500 now, so that's good. We'll see if the Nasdaq keeps its fight back. Look at SanDisk and memory place still bouncing back. Did you have alternative income streams when you started trading? Yes, I did. And I think you need to if you're trying to live just off of trading, especially in the beginning. It's a risky thing to do because, you know, you're going to have more emotion tied to everything. You know? So, like, if you got so much emotion tied to it, it's hard to make money without too much risk. Here's the US dollar, Japanese yen. It keeps falling, guys. Look at this. So again, this is bearish for the dollar index. So the dollar index is probably falling on US dollar, Japanese yen. Yemen's Houthis say they were not responsible for the attacks. Is it full time now? I mean, I'm not gonna be specific, but like, I've made enough to where I don't really need to work. Not just in markets, to be completely honest. Like, I don't claim to be some expert at trading. But look, USD, Japanese yen still falling. It's at 158s. But I do make money from this YouTube stream, clearly, you know. And so I've got multiple income streams. I've got rental properties. I've got some stuff. I see Saudi will strike back in self-defense, but sees regional escalation as a risk that needs to be carefully weighted, according to CBS. Memory plays getting back up to the highs they were at earlier. Yeah, it's hard to do. It's hard to do. Like, again, if your only source is pure trading, it's hard to make. It's hard to not be emotional about your profits. Like when you have a big losing day, it's hard to justify, and it's hard to get the emotional impact of it is just so much more pronounced with that. Dollar index still falling on U.S. Japanese yen weakness.
Well, very understandably too. I mean, sorry it didn't work out for you, Monopoly.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. Sorry, bro.
What's up, yourself? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no.
How do you hate on market fluctuations? You trade small. Trade small, lose small. I sure do a lot better when I wait for 9 o'clock Central, yeah.
You borrowed that from the Patriot.
Yeah, I definitely did. Aim small, miss small, guys. It's relevant. It's relevant. Aim small, miss small. Bro, I hope I'm not getting sick, dude. My throat hurts. I think that's just from me coughing earlier. But then I got kind of cold chills right now, dude. I better not be getting freaking sick.
Could also be from the vaping.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. It's definitely. I'm sure the chat's gonna yell at me just for saying that.
Although the cold chills might be a little bit of an indicator.
Yeah, it says U.S. State Department says it will continue maximum pressure policy on Iran. I know, guys. I know. I knew you guys would come out. I can appreciate that y'all care. Yeah, U.S. dollar, Japanese yen got dumped. So the yen's going up, index is going down. Nasdaq pulling back a little bit here, but let's see if memory can break these highs again. My throat hurts, guys. I don't know what it could be. Definitely not the vaping or the coffee.
At the black lung pop.
Yeah. Hey. What's up, Harmon? Hey, thanks, brother. Trade small, vape small. All right, guys. What are we doing today here?
Up, Blades.
All we need is oil to go lower for a healthy market. I see oil going higher right now, though. Look, here's oil. Probably on that quote about the State Department says a maximum pressure policy on Iran.
What can I say, Preston? Great minds, you know.
Yeah, oil jumping up a little bit as we speak here. I know, Sigma. I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. Where's Bitcoin at today? I know NBIS. Hold on, let me see. US dollar still. Or Bitcoin's pulling back since the open. Where are yields at right now? Yields are still dropping. It looks like 2.19%. That's down from last time. Yeah, yields have fallen basically since the opening bell here.
Buy the SIG and trade big. Dude, who are you, Johnny Cochran?
Oil bought the singles. Yeah, the Nasdaq the last like 10 minutes here, guys, is not looking very favorable here. You guys red or green so far in the day?
Green, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Long or short right here, guys? What do you think? Green, 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 green. No reds? Come on, we need one red person in here. I'll respect the honesty. Tiny red. Thank you, Tom. Tiny red. Stop loss. Long for me. Mostly everybody's green. Kane's green. Big Benny's green. BT is green. Preston's green. Wolf is green. Fantastic is short. I didn't say that, but that's okay. Or I guess I did say long and short. I'm wrong. Long and green. Green but small. Risky to short.
Bad
Wait
red
for
to
the-
add to the bad red on the year. It'll turn around for you, Miss Tiny. I believe in you.
I can respect the honesty though, Tony. I'm red.
Me too.
Yeah. With that said, though, the Nasdaq's starting to jump back up here, getting close to highs. MU just broke highs at 146s now. SanDisk is pushing up towards highs. So memory's starting to bounce back as well, bringing us closer to highs. Red today, green for the week. Hey guys, listen, we got 800 and something people here. I'm just saying, we need like 90 subs to break 175,000, guys. Have a heart. You know, in the arms of the angels. Batman Trader, my guy. Sorry, go ahead, Brandon.
I'm just saying, for one, for just the price of one click, you could help a trader's dream come true.
Yeah, that's right. Don't make me pull a cup out and start asking for change here, because I will. Yes, I will.
Do like an alms. Do like an alms from the for the poor thing, like from the Robin Hood with the fox, the old Disney movie.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. GDP now 1.5%. Previous was 1.54%. Initial was 4.95% for quarter three. Hey, thank you for the donation. Would you hold MATR through earnings? What's MATR?
Well,
Did you mean meta? I don't know what MATR is, but is that meta here, sir? But thank you for the donation.
Good for you, Alexis, and you have a good day too. And thanks, Lion Hippo.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Strategy. Oh, MicroStrategy. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know if I'd hold MicroStrategy at all, brother. I want it to go up. I want Bitcoin to do well, but I don't know if I'm holding that. I'm not gonna hold that thing right now. I'd rather just hold crypto in general, or Bitcoin in general, than MicroStrategy. I think it's incredibly risky right now. Maybe it holds. Again, Warsh does say the Fed remains committed to achieving price stability and does not have a soft inflation target. Where the heck is Warsh speaking right now, dude?
Is he?
I don't think he's live. I would have heard about it.
Oh.
But I don't know where. Yeah, he's not really speaking live. But thank you for the donation, Batman Trader. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you, sir.
No, Batman.
Very bad day cutting my trades. Thank you, X, for the honesty, dude. Hey, thank you for becoming a member, Batman Trader. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you, dude. You now get access to these. Look at this face. Look at this face, guys. Y'all don't want to see charts. Y'all want to see beardless John right here.
Face only a mother could love. I mean,
yeah. Look at that face right here, guys. Look at that face.
So sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud.
I heard nothing. You know. Oh, I can't make it go away, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Lion Hippo getting in on the action.
Y'all got my overlay all messed up now, dude. I'm swear. All right. Here, hold on. Gotta fix this. Nasdaq teetering around all-time highs, or not all-time highs. Sorry, highs of the day.
Highs of the day.
Yeah. We'd rather see the dog. That's fair.
That's cold, dude. You know.
All right, guys. I'm trying to wait to see if anything happens at these high levels here, but it's definitely iffier. Why everything going up? Memory. Remember, memory's going up. Terrible joke, but that's okay. MU up to 850s right now. Look at this is why everything's going up right now. You want to see MU? 860s now. SanDisk 1240s. Broke highs of the day recently. SK Hynix up big since the opening bell. Microsoft still doing really strong since its earnings report. Meta flat, so it's not dumpster firing at the opening bell here. So that's why everything's going up today. It's mostly chip related. Nvidia rising. So microchips in general, memory and more moving up, bouncing back from some of the scary lows that we saw. Yeah, I know, Blaze. I think that's actually what it is. What's up, Trong? I know a Trong. I know it's not pronounced that way. I can't really pronounce it right. But it's a Vietnamese name, no? Nvidia up to 196 is here. Nasdaq still trying to get higher. Software is losing. Software and chips got to kind of go the opposite. Right. You know what I like about the Vietnamese? Pandan cakes. You ever had one, Britt?
What?
Pandan cakes?
No, I have not.
They're delicious, bro.
What? Was it like a savory pancake?
It's almost like a jello-y cake, but it's very good.
Oh.
Nasdaq still popping up
that.
over. Yeah, 28,200s here. 28,200s for the Nasdaq, just broke highs again, and this is on memory still rebounding back up. Again, MU at 860s. No, pho is very good as well. We eat pho a lot here in my household.
Dude, I love pho.
Yeah. SanDisk up to 1250s right now. Memory still popping up.
Yeah, when I first learned how to actually pronounce it, I was like, what do you mean? There's an O at the end.
I called it pho for about 2 years.
It wasn't that long for me because my sister quickly corrected me, but
yeah, I called it pho for years, and then I hung out with my Vietnamese friends, and and they never corrected me. They weren't like, "Hey, bro, you're saying it wrong." They just said it, and I was like, "Oh, that's how you say it." Okay.
honestly, I would make my own, but it's hard to source pork bones.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, look. Nasdaq still breaking highs, 230s. Nvidia moving up to 190s. Microsoft up to 450s. SanDisk up to 1250s. MU is all the way up to 860s right now.
Nah, FRB, it's pho. Wait, what'd you say MU was up to?
860s.
Oh, that's good. Glad they're beginning to turn it around.
Yeah. Yeah, memory bouncing back here. Michael Burry's still doing, he's still up huge, but. All right, guys. Also, again, be sure to check out Apex, guys. Apex, their 90% off legacy accounts are still here. You can get a $59 100K eval, and if you pass it, you get a 100K funded account. Great way to learn. Gives you some risk, not the full extent of risk. And they've got really cheap accounts right now. So if you want to learn, I think these are probably the right way. Again, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel.
We very much appreciate it.
Yeah, there's the link right there. Check it out. You can also check out Lucid, Tradeify. I don't know what to do here, though. I'm getting kind of bored of this price action, though. I mean, I'm not bored. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit dull.
John's tired of making money. This just in. I'm kidding.
I'm waiting. Brett, I was offended by that. You better.
You should be. It was meant to be offensive.
I know. Listen. Offensive, Brit.
That's what they call me. That was my nickname in high school.
Yeah. All right, Nasdaq's starting to dip a little bit, though. Let's see what happens. Why is the market moving up? This is all memory related. Here, chat. So this is all memory related. Again, memory has been on a dumpster fire move. MU down big, back up to 864s today. SanDisk down big, back up to 1250s today. SK Hynix down big, back up to 150 basically today, 149 highs. This is all memory related, but it's also chip related in terms of non-memory chips like Nvidia up to 196. So chips are bouncing back today is the essential reason that we're moving up. It's mostly microchip bounce backs.
Hey, good for you, Tiny.
Nvidia and more. Initial balance high and low, and at least. Yeah, I've heard good speak about IB trades. I've never really gotten involved with IB initial balance trades, but there's some good, like I heard like a retracement strategy is good for the initial balance.
You heard it through the grapevine, did you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Nasdaq's heading back up though here. Still testing the highs. Microsoft has been pretty green on the day as well. Again, we got Microsoft, or no, we got Amazon and Apple earnings after the bell today. Look, Nasdaq just broke highs again. 28,250 basically right now. 246 highs. Again, memory's on a big run back here. Let's see if it holds though.
Why, certainly. You're very welcome.
$28,226 is here. So oil's starting to pop back up. Oil up to 84s.
Yeah. Up some.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm very green on the day, so I've slowed down my trading some. I don't want to give it back here. We are currently up $515 for the day. It's been a great week, a great month, really. But
EIA natural gas change BCF actual 28 billion versus 35 billion forecast. That's not good.
yeah, well, markets are just ripping up anyway. Oil's basically flat though on the day. And this is after more escalation, so that's probably a pretty positive sign anyway.
Yeah, it was what like up in the 85s yesterday.
Yeah, it hit earlier today. It hit almost 86 early this morning in the Asian session. $86 a barrel, basically 85.94 highs. So
okay.
let's see if we hold now.
Dude, it is cold in here. Jeez.
Amazon earnings are at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. So Amazon and Apple. I'm hoping it's just cold in this room and there's not cold chills. Yeah, Apple releases at 4:30. Amazon releases at 4.
Don't worry, John. It's just the cold chill of victory. You know.
I hope it
all those
is,
good
bro.
things today.
Yeah, I hope it is the cold chill of victory here.
I mean, I'm sure you're fine, but I would suggest maybe getting some fun, some emergency when you get off the stream, just
It's
in
a
case.
pandan. Yeah.
Maybe head it off. You know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're streaming the earnings. Yeah, we are streaming earnings. Don't worry. Should I take one more trade or no? What do you guys think, chat? One more trade here?
One more for the road. I don't know.
I might short, honestly. Real quick. I just jumped in a small short here. I think we're up a lot. Even if we continue up, we might reverse back down. But we got a big enough cushion to where even if we go red here, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'd like to get in small and then maybe add to my position here. One more trade. No, don't do it. Yeah.
I will say every time I've tried one more trade, it has not worked out well for me, but also don't really know what I'm doing yet. So that might be why.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have good risk management, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're green.
Well, if I had good risk management, I wouldn't have burned that last account.
Yeah, just one more, guys. I said just one more. You know? We're green in this here, but Things are still looking really strong. All right, we're gonna take it all. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut some of this. It's popping up back into the range here too much. Getting too close to highs. Too big of a chance we're gonna break highs right now.
Well, thank you, Tiny. Here's hoping.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it right here. We're still up a lot. We are up $450 on the day. And so.
And that's it. I'm up like 52.
Hey, 52 is good. Green is good, Britt. Very famous quote in trading is green is good. It doesn't matter how much green you are. If you're green today, you're doing okay.
Hey man, I'll take it. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, right?
That's right. That's right, bro.
I think a great philosopher once said that.
Yeah. I think it was me that said that, honestly.
I think so too. Taken straight out of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, or Zap Brannigan's lesser known work, Zap Brannigan's Big Book of War.
Yeah, I think I'm going to publish a book, and it's going to be titled The Art of Trading, John London, Beginner Trading. I came up with that name myself.
It's a great name. I don't think you could do any better.
Yeah. The Art of Trading War. All right, guys. I tried to stick around a little while for you guys here. Look, I just jumped back in one more short. Let me see what happens. I don't believe it. We're gonna break highs like right now, but I'll cover most of this.
You got to put that younger pick on the book.
Yeah, beardless John. That's right. Just put the face.
Yeah. Yeah. Market it as like a Wunderkind type thing.
Yeah, this is the cover of the book here, but it's just one of these faces. So like.
No, dude, you got to do all of them.
No, the cover of the book would just be this face. That's it. Like simplicity, Britt. You got to go with simplicity. This would be the cover. It's right here. All right, we're gonna take a little bit more off down here. I'm gonna just get out here. All right, we had a really good day. We're up like 600 now. I'm gonna cut out of here, guys. I'm gonna cut out of here. Listen, I love everybody here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. We will be back tomorrow, guys. We will be back. We will be back this afternoon. We got Amazon and Apple earnings this evening, so we will be back then. Again, if you want to help support the channel, check out Apex, check out Lucid, check out Tradeify, check out Take Profit. You can use my code on all of them. They're all good at different things. But a great way to help support the channel is just to check them out. Here's the link. We appreciate the love here, guys. Thanks so much. If you want to check out Apex, there's the link. I'll cover it one more time. 90% off still going on. Good luck, guys. Love to everybody here.
See you guys later.
Y'all have a great day.
Yeah. Be safe.